Hello, welcome to another Sunday on BMBBH. In fact, it's any given Sunday. My name is Kev, and just remind you of hitting the like button on the way in. Um, for those of you who are new to this channel, as you are watching this, please go ahead and go below the screen and hit the subscribe button. Um, yeah. So, most of you know me, know I don't do things to be mean and callous toward people. I just wanted to explain something real quick. Well, every broadcast is meant to explain things to people. And, that's what we're here for. We're here to break down a couple of things that I've observed in being in these spaces and watching Black YouTube and watching and being a part of the Black Manosphere. So, anyway, I'm just here to remind you to be be aware of the message that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Um, like, share, subscribe, has my Cash App. It's fair use on any material that I use that, will not get me a copyright strike. Edutainment purposes only. Take it with a grain of salt, or take it seriously. But and I do use harsh language here, although I've been really thinking about it and really thinking about cutting back on the level of profanity that I use here. I mean, being brutally honest doesn't mean that I have to be a what they like to call a potty mouth. And let's start off by saying this a phrase that is key to this space: long live the habitual line steppers. So, reminder to press the like button on your way in. Likes are for free and they are for the algorithm. All right, the title of tonight's broadcast is is really two made up terms or two made up lingos, and technically everything is made up. Is I'm gonna call this one though sign language versus S.B.E. Let me get some shout outs in the chat real quick before I get started. Uh, RPM, Phil, Brad, Toya, the tutor, always good to see you. And hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. What's going on? Yes, yes. He said bibbity bob. Was it bobbity bobbity bop? We are back. R.I.P. KS. As you will, if you haven't been under a rock, Kevin Samuels passed away a few weeks ago. Um, shoot, it's Indigenous TV S.B.E. Yeah, what's going on, Indigenous TV? Yeah, and tonight's stream doesn't really have a sponsor tonight. I did not get anything, but I don't really come up to these broadcasts looking to get anything. But yeah, the super chat is open and the Cash App is open as well. Anything is appreciated. Uh, yeah, what's up, Shaka Nulu? What's going on? Good to see you, brother. Indigenous TV says Ty City made a lot of enemies when he coined that acronym. And, I could kind of see why. I can see why, because uh, a lot of brothers, I will say in this space, want to be able to drag out discourse with a bunch of women that just plain flat out don't give a fuck. And what what and what I'm here to tell you guys is me personally, but it's not about me personally, but here's what I think. I really don't care how people are dressed. I mean, is it there is a such thing as proper discourse. There's a such thing as proper discourse and using your time and energy wisely when you come up to these platforms. But Shakanulu says sign is the same as S.B.E. Um, yeah, there are some similarities and there are some differences, and I will explain that as the night goes on. Shoot. So let me put this up on the screen. Oh yeah, one of my favorite picks. But I think that there are things that need some type of explanation. Okay, let's start off with sign language. Both are acronyms that are used to cleverly describe lingo that is targeted towards black men. Both of them are. Let me explain sign language. Is if I have this correct, and hybrid catastrophic impact, 83rd power. Yeah, that is TD Jakes, but that's a Photoshop. I don't think TD Jakes really did that. I just thought that the pic was very clever. Um, Sign language, shaming, insults, guilting, and need to be right. Um, this is what black men often encounter when we are trying to, I will say, make a point, and we say things that people uh, necessarily do not agree with, and it's something that we have to face very often. The fact that we are shamed for the things that we say to other people. Um, some may not. I'll explain that in just a second. Southpaw 2K1. Uh, um, Sign language. Basically, sign language came from shaming language. I know if you've ever been in a social media debate, it's kind of futile to try to reach dumb people, whether they be simps or whether it be a female that is representative of the sisterhood. Uh, Shakanulu says it's still the same. Mister, what's going on? Uh, Shaming, basically. Let me see if I get some examples. Shaming is basically telling us that let me okay that the reason why we're doing this is because we're upset that we have been turned down by women, that we haven't done very well with women. And that's really like one of the key focuses is always women, women, women. Is always some sexualized attack like we must be a bunch of homosexuals because we hate women. you know, um, which it kind of rolls over into insults. Basically, you're fat, you're ugly. Uh, Goes back right to women. The guilt part, however, is kind of different. Saying that we as black men, we have failed the black community, we have been defeated. uh, the reason why the black community is in the condition that we're in is because of the fact that black men have done nothing. We have no power, and we should just be all in favor of just silencing black men. Need to be right. Need to be right. This was a problem I used to encounter when I would talk to Caucasian people. Is like no matter what you said, no matter what kind of arguments you put up, they just needed to be right. They just had to be right. There was no way they couldn't be right. Uh, Same as if you were discussing someone, say for instance, um, the need to be right come from the fact that they just wanted to prove that they were right about lying on you. say basically, and I'm gonna use the recently departed Kevin Samuels, even though he died in the company of a thick Latina, people are still going on and on about him being gay. And, even if people didn't have any proof, like, they'll act like they got proof of, especially with the glitch gate where like a picture of a man in a bed popped up. It was like people acted like they would have like actual proof that Kevin Samuels was a homosexual. I mean, just because he was soft spoken. And really the lie not now not now it ain't like KS was the only one that was ever lied on. I'm sure if you've been in this space long enough, someone has told a lie on you. you know, Shannon B, what's going on? Oh, Karan S, thank you for the super chat. First one between last night and tonight. Oh yeah, that's another one. We don't. Yeah, we hate black women. We for some reason, if we have a criticism, if we have a criticism about the opposite sex, then it's hating women. Um, Quran S says we don't hate black women. Black men just don't want to be forced to choose between Grimace and the Hamburglar when they both are hangry. And Ray Hama the Hama Force, what's going on? Shannon B, what's up? Mister says you don't like women with bad attitudes because you don't get no pussy. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I don't know how long the term sign language has been out. I've been aware of it for about a year. One of the guys that I first heard explain it, shout out to this guy, Solo TV 84. Uh, I heard him explain what it is, and I've seen it throughout black social media. Uh, yeah, and if you are in this space and you are speaking on the side of, I'm tired of the shit that I see that goes on in this community, um, you're probably gonna hear some sign language. I've been hearing sign language ever since, like I say, ever since I started going into Facebook, into the depths of Facebook groups. It, from that to creating one of my own. And boy, have I caught some heat for saying black men, being brutally honest with everyone, because no one believes in the honesty of black men. No one wants to hear the honesty of black men because, in order, when we are brutally honest, it doesn't speak very highly of our people. And it has to be to outsiders that, from due to our experiences, we are telling the truth. Uh, what's going on, Petway boy? All right. Destro0861, what's going on? Yeah, good to see you guys tonight. So let me explain the other one. S.B.E. Shame, blame, and explain. Um, I don't know who to give more credit for coining this term. Earlier, it was said that Ty City coined the term, and yes, he does use it very often. Um, is either Ty City or Ramil. Um, listen up. Um, I'm I'm about a couple sentences away from dismissing S.B.E as a male feminist trope, but upon further review, I do kind of understand where the S.B.E stuff comes from. I mean, I'm not gonna use any females as an example, but uh, let's say a female came up on this panel, on this platform, and started saying all kinds of nonsense and BS. I'm not gonna spend my whole broadcast trying to get this bitch to realize how stupid she is. I will say that. Oh, you want to give Shaka Nulu said Thai City did. Indigenous TV said Zero was on this a year or so ago before it actually took shape as we know it. Zero, who has not done, he hasn't really done a broadcast lately, and I am brought to actually believe that it's due to his impatience for the direction that this space has gone in. Uh, Zero, he's a cool guy, and every time I used to listen to him, or listen from the clouds, that um, I always was very entertained, and he was a brother who articulated himself. But yes, in that area, yeah, it was. You said Zero was on it like a year ago, and like I said, he kind of lost patience, for the direction of the space, because he felt as if you shouldn't be trying to make sense of nonsense, and it's kind of like trying to make a chicken salad out of chicken shit, basically. uh, Mister, thank you for the super chat. Says you're strong and independent, yet you're constantly whining about how we dislike your bad behavior. Makes sense. Charles Faulkner, the officer of the goddamn law. What's going on? Uh, yeah. Like I said, I'm indifferent to all of it. Um, you know, if someone comes up here, and I've always said this, if someone comes to this platform saying stupid shit, then I do believe that there should be a consequence to saying stupid shit, whether you're male or female. I'm pretty indiscriminate on that. Alonzo Hall, the All Star advisor. What is up, my brother? If look, it's fair game. It's fair game. Now, uh, what? And I'm gonna ask you guys in the chat. What concept do you believe is more like? What concept would you say is a bigger problem in this space? And I know a lot of you are gonna say SBE. I know, but I just have to ask. Because my thing is, I'm not digging the sign language part. Now, let's go over this again. Sign language, shaming, insults, guilt, and need to be right. S.B.E, shame, blame, and explain. Indigenous TV says S.B.E by a country mile. Shannon B says S.B.E also. Um, yeah, but in the chat. I like to read y'all comments and such. Just kind of give me an explanation as to why you believe that SB is a bigger problem than sign language. Because I mean, both really, I would say, target black men. Both of them do. Both of them, sign language targets black men, and SBE targets black men. Um, yeah, it's Greg said just uh Greg says just learning about SBE. Um, Charles Faulkner says shame, guilt, and need to be right is a very difficult problem. Shaka Nulu says SBE always wins. So we got people on both sides of it. We got people on both sides. So um, yeah, and this is like I said, this broadcast is not meant to demean or to demoralize anyone, but shame, blame, and explain. And this is me furthering my understanding for different points of view when it comes to men in these spaces, because Shout out to my boy Roguish Son. I do not believe that the black manosphere is or should be a monolith. It is a it is a it comprises of different attitudes and points of view. And one thing that has fractured this space in general is the second someone says something that you don't like, then many would try to associate it with the entire space. One thing that I've heard is someone saying that a sex doll is acceptable. And a guy was like, "Well, as soon as I heard that, I was done with the space." Although every content creator ain't said nothing about no goddamn sex doll. So I don't believe that everybody is buying into the sign language concept. And I also don't believe that everyone is buying into the S.B.E concept. But clearly, both points of view have, I mean, both of them do have a point. Um, like, it, look, if you say something, if you say something, like whether you be a male or a female, is up for debate. Is up for debate. I don't, I don't, I don't believe that everything that I have said within this space is correct. I can't imagine what that is, of course, because me thinking that I'm some kind of YouTube scholar, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe that I have been 100% bang on and accurate in everything that I have said. I don't. Anybody that believes that they have been 110 to 150% right in everything that they have said, my suggestion to you is that you check yourself because no one is perfect. No one is. But if you are a person that steps up here and you believe that everything that you have said is, even though it is your point of view and is your opinion, and like assholes, everybody got one, unless you're a fucking space alien or have some kind of anatomy or physiology that we don't have any idea about. I mean, shit, you have a right to it. Period. You have a right to it, but you can be wrong, and I do understand that. Yeah. Shannon B says Black Manosphere is. Yeah, he said defiantly, but I do believe you mean definitely. The Black Manosphere is definitely not a monolith. Is broken into four parts at least. Uh, and the reason for that, like, is not a monolith and is fractured into many divisions, is because of a part of it is because of the lack of unity among black men. Let me turn back to this other pic because I just think it's funny. Yeah, we need to be. One thing I do think that black men need to be together on is when anyone shows us any undue criticism. I mean, some of us will sit up here and say that, oh, just ignore it. Like it. Just ignore it. It'll go away. Death Racer 25X. What's going on? uh, Mr. Mister said, "Is dildos are acceptable for women, then sex dolls are acceptable for men. Don't shame us because our anatomy requires a different style of masturbation." uh, oh God. Death Racer 25X says, "Talk that talk to the guys. Once you start bringing women on having flowing behind their gaslighting to try to change them, that's S.B.E. Look, I'm not trying to change anyone. I would rather people expose their true selves. I'm a big advocate for that. I was telling someone I was talking to the other day, I was telling them about racist. I said, I wish I knew who every one of them were, just like these hoes. I wish who every one of them were. So, if you knew who everyone was, and besides, trying to solve the mystery like you're the fucking Scooby Doo gang, then, you would know how to deal with those people. The refined nomad, what's going on? Cortez Smith, what's going on? Shaka Nulu says breaking out stats or shit like that to females is automatically S.B.E. Um, yeah, kinda, sorta. If the conversation is about stats, then it's appropriate. But if a female says that, so I guess black fathers ain't there, and then you tell them, oh, well, black fathers are the most involved fathers. Like I was saying last night, they don't fucking care about that. They don't. They're going to stick to the WS narrative. That man said hybrids. Come on, man. The refined nomad says one of the first mistakes Black Manosphere made was to bring females into our spaces and on our panels. Uh, yeah, I'm real careful with that because one thing that I really am an advocate of is if you talk about a certain group of people, especially if they have melanin in their skin, that they should have a right to speak their piece. And if especially like if and I've said this also, if you are heavily dependent and relying on just men to build your platform, you probably won't get that far. You probably like, indigenous TV said, Kev, he's right. These females had no business in here and having a voice. Hmm. Okay. Well, we all feel very differently about that. If the conversation becomes counterproductive, like I would say that I wouldn't be very welcoming of sisterhood on this platform because sisterhood basically tries to throw the conversation off. I would say they what their form of gaslighting is to try to make men, black men at least, make us look as stupid as possible because I mean they damn sure don't do the same thing to white men. Let's see. And Shakanulu said, and that's why SB is always the winner because they don't care. Guys loves wasting saliva trying to break down a female's thought process. Well, yeah, yeah. Really, what I was always told growing up was that you should not try to understand a female. You should not try to understand a woman. Uh, I believe that has. I also believe that derives from a very blue pill philosophy, but um, so I'm just one of those guys that is going. I'm gonna question everything. I'm gonna question the hell out of it because I believe that it is worth questioning. Now, am I a guy? Now, in your opinion, guys, am I a guy that is an S.B.E guy? I want to know the truth. I want to know the truth. You know, this is what I believe this platform is for black men to be brutally honest. Mister. He says women been riding the Sibian since the late '90s. That is a sex doll, and no one shamed her for that. Look it up for yourself. Right? I know what a Sibian is. I watch porn. Kev, you need to pick a side. Either you SYSBM or you're not. Okay. Well, SYSBM. Um, Here's my understanding of SYSBM and why I don't care about SYSBM. Um, I don't care if brothers do it. I'm not gonna go against it, rail against it, or criticize it because I do understand where brothers come from when it comes to SYSBM. I do. I understand it, but I can't, in the literal sense, be SYSBM because I'm married to an American black woman, and 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 I don't know if some of you are gonna take exception to that. Quite frankly, I don't care. Uh, I mean, I pretty much been like I've been a guy whose eyes have been open for a very long time, and that is even before I got married. So, um, you know, so I mean, nobody's perfect, but I love my wife. So, I mean, that's just what it is. Uh, let's see. Indigenous TV said no, but you rival Sister George, who can be a bit suspect at times. She provokes a lot of bullshit. Well, I'll tell you this about Sister George. She used to be very strong in the sisterhood, but I do believe that her eyes are being opened to a lot of stuff. Um, but that's all I'll say about that. She can be more than free to speak for herself. She does have a couple of platforms that she does that on, but that's just what it is. She's grown enough. You know, yeah, I do kind of agree with that. Uh, if I had, I'll discuss that with her because she's sole provider. If you happy, Kev, that's all that matters. Don't let these online niggas ball. Yeah, yeah, I already know this, bro. I already know this. What's up? Hurry up and buy. What's going on, man? What's the deal? Good to see you once again, my brother. Yeah, but uh, this broadcast is basically from my understanding of the two concepts. Um, it appears to me that you guys in the chat have a strong understanding of both of these concepts, and that is what I will give you guys credit for. The whole shame, blame, and explain, uh, versus the sign language concept. Some of you guys are like me. I really don't care what you guys say to these females. I don't, because and it's pretty much like this with me. They're going to say what they want to say to you. They are, and that's just what it is. And Shaka Nulu, thank you for the cash app. I just saw you. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate it as always. Shaka Nulu. He says she can't sun anyone on that channel and Indigenous TV. It's impossible. Niggas never unsubbed. Yeah, yeah, mm, yeah, they didn't. Um, hey, if I'm not saying that I would have done it, but if I'd have bought a channel from another content creator, knowing that content creator earned all of those subs, I would have probably gone a different direction. Yeah. So let me check something out real quick. All right, I got 31 likes and I got 52 watching. So that means that one of you out there watching right now has not pressed that like button. Go ahead and hit that like button. It's the freest thing you can do. I mean, unless you organize all your like videos, like, well, I like videos just so I can go back and watch them and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. No, likes are for free. Jadeo, what's going on? Kev, you could be married to a black woman and still be SYSBM. The basic tenet of SYSBM is black men doing what's in their best interest first and foremost, as opposed supposed to uh, succumbing to gynocratic dictate. I am. Let me. Uh, I got mad when a content creator called me a gynocrat because I know come hell or high water that I am not gynocratic. I'm not gynocratic at all. I don't know what the hell anybody would ever call me gynocratic for because I do believe in the superiority of black men. Uh, we are stronger and we are better. And I don't know if I need to explain that to anyone that disagrees with that. Those two basic things. Yes, we are strong. We are superior because we're stronger and we're better. I don't want to ever see black men lower ourselves to the level that some of these sisters can get down to. I don't want to see it. We're physically stronger, we are more capable, and we are the ones that protect this side of the motherfucking Mississippi. Peter Frank. Today, if you're not SYSBM, you are gynocratic. Okay. Sole provider says SYSBM is just a way to gaslight or troll black women online. You don't need the label to have common sense that you can date whatever woman you like. Yeah. He said, Kev, who called you that, point him out. I actually made a video about the guy. I don't know if anybody caught that video. Um, it wasn't the Q Butter video, but I put, fuck it, I'll say who it is. Cheap Stay Sleep TV. Yeah, I went on his broadcast and disagreed with him on his assessment of the black manosphere. Now, not being the wiser, I don't know whether it just put me in the mood to troll or it just like, I was just making the point like if you're calling people gynocratic and you're unfairly criticizing a group of black men just for speaking our minds, or this obsession with who um sole provider reacts likes to refer to as perfume sama, because it was like every broadcast it was like that. I was saying that within itself was gynocratic, and then he turned around and called me a gynocrat and had one of his mods time me out in the chat, or they decided to time me out on their own in the chat, and he kept talking shit. And he kept talking shit. So I mean, like, if you talking shit to me and you timing me out of your chat, to keep me from talking back, then I felt at the time my only answer was to make a video. you know, Hard Buck, what's going on? Hard Buck, thanks for coming by. Him trying to shame you for disagreeing is gynocratic. That's kind of, what that was kind of what I was on. But I'm not going to spend too much time on him. Is like, I know some of you watch his channel, so I'm not here to put you guys at odds with any content creators, but but You're grown ass men, so you can make that decision for yourself on your own. Indigenous TV, I'm S.Y.S.B.M. I have never tricked or flown somewhere for head of pussy. Yeah, yeah. I guess that's a little tiny shot at the passport bros. But I mean, black men, look, do you, do you? That's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, there's not really too much of a language that I feel as if people can use toward you to stop you from saying what you want to say to people, but understand there is a consequence if you go in a certain direction. Uh, like there have already been consequences for me on Facebook when I go in a certain direction. I do have stalkers who mildly stalk me. These are relative unknowns, but one of them have doxed me. One of them have contacted my wife and was saying a bunch of bullshit. And my wife is not someone who is used to the shenanigans that goes on social media. So that was quite the discussion that me and her had, when that happened. And like, I don't know if I've ever said this to you, any of you guys, because people would often, especially females, would ask me, "Oh, I wonder what his wife think of this. I wonder what his wife thinks of this." Because every black woman, because they have melanin in their skin and they have a vagina, they're supposed to be under the same accord of bullshit. So I'm here to tell you guys that my wife ain't the biggest fan of me on Facebook or on YouTube, but I'm still up here. So what does that say about my marriage? so, and I'll just leave it at that. Jade, a lot of black men are still tethered to mama, woman-led men, to quote the Roger Report. So they don't like black men who are leaders in their own rights. I will agree with that. I will agree with that. A lot of men unwittingly and unknowingly, um, they do hate the fact that there are a lot of black men that have taken the bull by the horns and decided to get up here and speak our minds. A lot. This is where a lot of the sign language comes in for black men. Art Newstall, what's going on? This is where a lot of the sign language comes in for black men, as if we are supposed to come up here and have the answers to all of your questions every time we open our mouths and we decide to. Uh, yeah, I'll go ahead and drop the link right now. Faulkner has just asked for the link, and I've been speaking for about 45 minutes. Uh, so, so anyone who has any type of opinion on this, yeah, yeah. I mean, like, in fact, I do encourage more black men to speak our minds on what's going on because this is the time to take advantage of a platform that actually gives us free reign to do this. I do. And another thing, SYSBM and divestors aren't the same either. There is a certain content creator that would disagree with you on that. And I mean, like, but I agree with you, Indigenous TV. I do believe that divestors and SYSBM aren't the same. So what's going on, officer?
Whoa!
What's,
Smoking a cigar before I go in the house.
oh,
And
okay.
some things kind of disturbed me. One, I was listening to the Amazing Lucas before you came on.
Oh. Is it the part where he was dick police and Bronny?
Of course, that's it. First of all, I was so tempted. Why the fuck do black men need to dick police? I've been a police officer for almost 15 years. I personally do not recall a time in the academy or any time in service where we were taught to, be the Johnson Constable, okay? Be the law enforcement of penis, okay? Dick policing, if you will. I just think that, see, that's too gynocratic for me. And for anybody who thinks that loving your wife is something else, fuck them and tell them I said it.
No, no, no. I mean, like I've clear, like I've tried to offer clarity to. I don't give a damn about how anybody thinks about me loving my wife or whatever that is. I mean, actually, it's none of their business, and I would suggest for anybody like that to get some business of their own. So,
Yeah. And I gotta address another thing about women coming into this space. I'm tired of men acting like this is the troll secret hideout that you do your little Dakota ring handshakes and shit. No, women are gonna come to this space. Now, if you don't talk to women and confront either the truth that they're gonna say or the bullshit they'll state, then you will have no progress. It's like confronting the bully. You're gonna get bullied until you stand up to the motherfucker. The reason why I myself invite women up there is for two reasons. Either you're going to prove yourself to be a lady or you're going to prove yourself to be a dumbass. That is an example of men who still want to be in relationships, the type of women you should avoid or the type of women you should aspire to get. Now, when I look at these things and I say, look, nobody rallies harder, very few even do, against the gynocracy than me. So a lot of this shit happens because a lot of dudes need that enemy. They need the boogeyman. They want to come over here. They want to guilt shame us and the need to be right. Okay, prove yourself right. I even told Willie D virtuously to his face, stop simping, yo. You're gonna be 60 years old. Too old for that shit. It's not a good look. See, it's not the females all the time that's the problem. It's the fucking simps.
mm,
And a lot of niggas straight up say, "Oh, I'm red pill," and the only person you probably red pill for is to a black woman, but you'll let a fucking Hispanic, Asian, and a white woman run over top of your ass.
mm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would agree that you can't just be like that toward B Dubs and then let the other women come in and do whatever the fuck they want to do. I more so would like check a white woman real fast. I mean, even though I understand that that might do as much good as checking a B Dub, but at the same time, that's something that's based on principle. You're not gonna come in here and try to just say or do whatever the fuck you want to do. Um,
And see, I know people, you're going to have some detractors who disagree. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Because a lot of motherfuckers were not as successful as BGS when he had his women's panel. You didn't even, matter of fact, majority of you motherfuckers never would have had the material source if he never had that panel for how comfortable and open he got those women to speak. Let me break this down even further. Black men, what content creator did you push to be 100,000 by yourselves? 200,000?
mm,
1 million? How many people actually support black male content creators. Because we're gonna if we're gonna go one way, we gotta go back the rubber band effect. We're gonna talk about the entire totality of why. You wonder why a lot of these fucking females, like Cynthia G, gets like 50 to 100,000 subs. A lot of niggas will come view your shit, talk shit, and won't even subscribe. Trust me. And nobody can say, well, I gotta disagree. No, it isn't. I'm the motherfucker that asked that one question that backed Cynthia G the fuck down. I've had a conversation. You were there when I had the four ladies on my panel.
Uh, yeah. I was. I watched that broadcast, and I was like, I commended you on the way that the way you handled it, and the fact that things didn't go completely ape shit. But go
No,
ahead.
it was actually pretty peaceful.
Yeah,
Pretty peaceful.
it was peaceful.
And
Yeah.
even the night before that, I had over 600 people watching when I did my Kevin Samuels salute
Mm.
and said, here's the crazy part. Black men shunned Kevin Samuels. See, a lot of you motherfuckers forget how deep I am rooted in this manosphere. When I was a regular on every, damn near almost every Angry Man panel, on almost every BGS panel, and I've seen how motherfuckers originally treated Kevin.
Yeah. Me being a spectator back then, and me just being introduced to this space by Edward Anderson and Obsidian, whose videos used to make it in my group. I remember back in the day how Kevin Samuels was treated on those panels.
Yep. Do me a favor. You see Peter Frank highlight his statement.
Okay, Peter Frank uh, said, "SYS, this one right here."
Yep.
It says SYSBM is not accepting Black Americans plantation culture. Charles Faulkner, you and BGS are part of the problem.
Do tell. Let me get this. The man who actually helps black boys become black men and productive members of the society is part of the problem. Who the fuck are you? What consequence are you to me? A lot of you motherfuckers are a bunch of do nothings and blowhards. Because when it comes to fixing the problem, I did more in 1 week. Hell, I've done more in 1 day to fix problems than you did in your entire pathetic lifetime. Let's talk about the problems, right? Because first of all, I've been saving myself way before this slogan came about. I traveled the world before I was even out of high school. Okay, I have a passport that's legal. If you wanted my original passport, that motherfucker was been legal to drink. So traveling abroad is nothing new to me. See, a lot of you Johnny come late, really, and I do really mean to really take a good evaluation of yourselves and say, am I the problem or is it you? See, a lot of you motherfuckers were cowardly around the Cynthia G's and other content creators. A lot of you wouldn't even get up on the damn panels to say shit. Some of you motherfuckers were getting punked. But when I represented Florida Brothers and the sisters like Toya, Fitness Mom, Asada Muhammad, the women that that represents us the best way and supported us in many different ways and show you a great example of what a black woman is supposed to be. You got to give credit to where credit is due. It cannot be one way. Save yourself. Have you actually have you actually have you actually accomplished that? Because guess what? I don't need saving. I'm building. So for a motherfucker like you to come out of your mouth sideways to a man like me, shut the fuck up when grown folks are talking.
All
See,
right.
I'ma just leave that alone.
Yeah. I mean, you had a right to address that. I mean, that your name was said. I usually don't let people come at the chat, but since they did address you, you had a right to respond. And I want people in the chat to understand that you come at anybody sideways that's on this panel. We're brutally honest here, so what's good for the goose is good for the gander, so to speak. But let me thank you, Greg, for the Cash App and the Super Chat. Appreciate it. He said BGS is the architect of Manosphere 2.0. Enough said. Officer, do you agree with that statement? And once again, thank you for the Super Chat. Is BGS?
He's one of them. Yeah, definitely. One of them. You got to give credit. Angry Man's one. Obsidian's one. O'Shea's one. Whether if I agree or disagree with anybody, you got to see the problem is you got to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I think that a lot of these guys get butt hurt because one, like I saw some stuff in the chat. If you want the women in the community, that's cool. Okay, let me explain this once again. Last time I checked, Kev, wasn't I the motherfucker that told people on many of panels women are a byproduct of success? Women are a byproduct of how you build yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. I don't do anything for a woman. Okay? I've gotten better treatment from just female friends of mine than some of you gotten with your wives and girlfriends. I don't do this shit for, oh, I'm looking for women. No, women been attracted to me before I even was attracted to them. When I was a little boy, still playing with my He-Man and my Thundercats. Okay? That's the problem. I don't do shit for women. When I started my damn security firm, you think I did that shit for a woman, Kev?
No, I believe that was one of your aspects of building. And how's that going, by the way?
Oh, we got the licenses for executive protection, private detective, armed and unarmed security. Hmm.
Oh,
I'm about to go get some government grants because I'm a triple minority, black male veteran.
oh, okay. Okay, so I'm glad to hear that things are going very swimmingly with that.
Thank you very much for the kind words. See, my goal is to put young black men in charge of protection of this country, like we originally did. We were the first to kill and die for it. So imagine if I could take a guy, train him up, and start him out $25, $30 an hour. Wouldn't that push the economics of Black America far different than what we see now, little by little? But yet, I'm part of the problem. What I really like to know, what have people done even to help your fellow black man? Because this rugged individualism is a fraud. I'm even the one person who said your children and women are as free as the fear and respect your men can invoke.
Mm.
So if somebody was building up black men, I have a 20 plus year record of doing so. But a lot of people keep doing this shame, guilt, need to be right shit. Part of the problem, Kev. Black men speaking brutally honest. Because I guess you would be the one that I would say who knows this. A lot of black men can't take the honesty.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, a lot of black people can't take the honesty. I can tell you that from experience. And I mean, it can be stressful sometimes because uh, you really want black men to, black people in general, to act like we got some fucking sense, and it doesn't always work out that way. But Shannon B, thank you for the super chat. He says, not only do men in the black manosphere SBE women, but they SBE men too. Yeah, yeah. I remember a panel, and shout out to Ty City of the Logic Sphere. And I'm gonna say it just like this. I don't. Hey, mute up, Charles. I can hear myself in the background. Yeah. And a lot of the content creator I'm about to mention, a lot of us don't like this guy, but Taz was Taz. I'm sorry. Taz was like, you can SBE men, but you can't SBE women. Now, when I heard that, and I heard many of the other statements he had made on that panel itself, because it seemed like he was bogarting the panel, I started to get sort of emotional in the chat. I'm not a person that is afraid to admit that some things do trigger me. And I felt like that it was like that comes from a really defeated place. Like, look, if you can't SBE women, you shouldn't be able to SBE men. What the fuck you doing SBE and men? Because, like I stated, we're better. I don't understand why people don't believe that we're better. We just are, and that's just what it is. But let's see, Planet My Opinion, what's going on? He said Castle Plunder was built by slave labor.
He's talking about the Mutants Castle on the Thundercat show.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's Castle Plunder. Yeah, I remember that now. But it's like I just feel like that's weird if you feel like that you can SBE men with no problem, but all of a sudden SBEing women is like cringe or whatever. And really, you shouldn't be SBEing anybody. You should just let them speak. And to kowtow to a weird motherfucker like that, yes, I said weird. That's a problem. Let's see. Uh, yeah, Rael said what panel? It was one of Ty City's panel on his channel, The Logic Sphere. I forgot the name of the broadcast. I don't even know if it's still up. But yeah, that shit was messed up that night, and that shit rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But let me go through some of these comments. Refined Nomad says, all I'm saying, I don't need opinions to be successful. That's all I'm saying, and I'm finished. Uh, let's see. Rael is in the building. He says, women have absolutely no say so in the development of boys into men. That's the job of men. I would agree with that. And that's what Officer Faulkner has emphasized in his has emphasized on this panel tonight. So let's see. Yeah, but yeah, we got opinion swinging both ways. And I said what I said last night about I would say someone like I would say a BGS because I actually saw someone try BGS the other day on his panel, and dude just sounded absolutely crazy. And it was explained to me that person was just kind of a helmet that always says stupid shit. But whether you feel a certain way about BGS or not, he's just like any black man that is on this platform. He does have a right to defend himself and his points of view, just like many of you guys that's in this chat, and like a lot of the content creators have that same right. And that is one thing that I do understand as my perspective as a black man that's not only on this platform, but in this country as well. You know, even for stupid motherfuckers like the one that I just got through talking about. I mean, although I wish he would shut up sometimes, he has a right to share his opinion as well. Uh, but G Serotonin, what's going on? I know there are some people that I missed in the chat. Uh, yeah, I think I mentioned Planet My Opinion. Uh, yeah, but hopefully I've shouted all of you out who watching that has participated in this chat. But G Serotonin, what's going on? Like you said, I physically pulled up on some of these dudes. They capping about their lifestyle. Wow. Wow.
There are some who like talk a lot of shit, and I'm like, look, I tell you one thing I never had. I had my son since the age of what, 5? When I tried to, like, when I was upset with my son's mother, I didn't need a court case. Give me my son and give me all the shit that I bought, which is everything in his goddamn room.
Mm,
And he's been living with me since.
mm.
See, it's crazy because black people, especially black men, we got to be able to take advice. Because of this being brought up in this gynocentric arena, we get offensive when somebody says something. Mike Tyson said it best: not everybody who's against you is your enemy, and not everybody who's for you is your friend. And the problem is this: if a guy's knowledgeable in a certain subject, yes, listen, I don't. I've met Dr. Umar, spoke to him personally twice. Do I agree with every goddamn thing he says? No. But what he talks about when it comes to child psychology, there's probably no person better in this country. We have to actually, we have to actually be able to decipher what can be used and what can't. And a lot of it is stopping progress because we have a really bad problem. Everybody wants to be the head nigga in charge.
Yep, HNIC complex. I've mentioned that quite a few times. That is a problem amongst black men. However you want to see it is just that everyone wants to have the bestest ever opinion possible, and and it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It's we got to be able to take input from others and not believe that we're, even if we do believe we're saying the best shit ever, not to reflect that attitude onto others because that's always met with resistance. But G Serotonin, what's going on?
Yo, how the brothers feeling tonight?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good.
And I think one of the issues we have is like Officer, like Commander was saying, some of us are physically doing things in real life. You know what I mean? And some of us are on here being blowhards and just talking. And I physically pulled up on some of these dudes, man. These dudes are hiding their appearance, hiding who they are. You know, and I understand wanting to be private to a point, but man, I thought we supposed to be brothers. If you my brother, why are you hiding your appearance from me? Why is you? That's like when Kev passed away, there was a brother on here that talking about all the Red Bulls killed him, That boy, he don't know nothing about health. He weighed 500 pounds. He hides off the camera. He don't want nobody to know, but you would never see him get on camera because he's ashamed of his appearance. And people like, you shouldn't do that. I'm not doxing nobody. You shouldn't lie like that. You get on here talking about health and working out and this, and you weigh 500 pounds.
I think it's a lot of people who this internet makes brave men of people, man. It turns ordinary fellas into Superman overnight. When I meet up with people like Dr. Dunbar, like, you know, David from the controversial counselor, I'm what you see is what you get. I'm gonna talk the same shit. Do I think I'm any better than anybody? For the most part, no. There's some things I'm gonna be better than some people because I trained in it, or it naturally comes to me. But that you could say that's every human being walking the earth. See, the problem is that to thy own self be true first. When you pull up on somebody, like, look, how you doing, brother? Come in, have a drink, have a cigar, let's talk.
Yeah, I've even told you when I was in your area, I didn't make it out to be more, but I told you when I was in the Virginia area, DC area, driving and doing deliveries, and I've met some of the brothers out there, and I've had brothers who flaked on me, were like, oh yeah, we're gonna meet up. And then when I get there, they don't answer the phone. Because a lot of times these brothers is not what they portray to be. And we have to address these things instead of, because like we try to give each other leeway, but I think the manosphere is at a point where there's no more leeway, man. We have to tell people to be honest about who they are. Just like when everybody's talking about fat girls, I'm like, okay, I don't mind you not liking fat girls, but you need to get on camera and we need to see the caliber of women you're able to actually attract while you're talking about Lizzo. If you're not even able to attract a woman that's attractive as Lizzo, why are you talking about? And that's where, I mean,
I've been saying that shit for years, G. Like, look, I can say I am not attracted to big women. Some of my friends are, God bless them. I give them medals and honor. But at the same time, they know why. I've attracted better women. So it's kind of like the sour grapes. You know how you have that fox in the woods who wants those grapes up there that's really up there, and then they said I can't reach it, so I don't want them fucking grapes anyway. That's syndrome.
my thing, the commander, is just, me and you and other individuals, like people get on BGS and talk bad about BGS. And I remember BGS brought y'all into the space. Now you guys have a problem with BGS. And I remember them same men were on BGS's panel crying. And BGS consoled them and counseled them through things that men need counsel through, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. But now all of a sudden you got a little channel. Now fuck BGS. You know what I'm saying? I don't like stuff like that. Then they get on me like, you like BGS? Yeah, I like BGS. I don't got nothing but respect for that man. I listen to his channel. I got nothing but respect for you guys. But there's these guys that start these channels. Now they got a little opinion and a little fan club. Now, oh, BGS this and this. And it's just like, why are you doing that? And you guys wouldn't even have the plethora of information if it wasn't for men like Angry Man and Obsidian and B. Like, I never listened to Obsidian, but I understand some talking points come from him. You know what I mean? I understand that we are a hodgepodge and the culmination of all of us talking together. I get more frustrated with the action. I'd be like, okay, we could do action. We could take action to make changes if we want to. But then when you come down to the guys actually trying to make action or trying to donate to each other, it's only a couple of us who do that.
Salute.
Oh, salute. What's up, Sir Anthony? What's going on?
I'm good, brother Kev. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
That's good. How you doing, brother Officer Faulkner G?
Hey, how you doing, brother? How you doing?
Feeling.
Doing good. Going good. I'm coming in kind of late, but so I don't know really if I'm going to say anything that's already been covered. But the sign language and the S.B.E. One of the things that I appreciated about, well, I appreciate the sign language acronym. You know, of course, for everything that it stands for, and it speaks for itself. You know, for all of us that are familiar with it. But then when the S.B.E. thing came along, you know, I just thought that that was just building upon, you know, the knowledge base, you know, that we all deal with, because you know there were some valid points made with that S.B.E. You know, um, when I first heard it come out, you know, the perspective that was given through the S.B.E. was just, I think, spot on. You know, there's, you know, it gets to a point where you can't push these women into a box and have them to change. You know, it's not going to happen. You know, shame, blame, and explain. It's just not even worth it. You know, that's my short spiel on the thing. But so I don't know what you covered so far. You know, forgive me if I said something over again. But I like the S.B.E. concept as a build upon what the sign language was about.
No, no, no. You're good, man. I mean, you came up here, you reiterated a couple things that I said, but I mean, you're just getting up here, so that's cool shit. So I think that a lot of these guys that are in the chat are actually, in agreement with you when you say stuff like that. Trying to explain shit to hoes and heifers and shit like that, and people who are already wallowed in their own stupidity. I believe is pretty futile and useless.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, but at the same time, if someone comes up to a platform and like I said, this includes me too. If I say something people don't exactly agree with, it is totally up for debate.
Definitely.
Yeah. Ray Hummer, the Hummer Force, what's going on? I don't know if I gave you a shout out yet, but thanks for stopping by.
My thing though, Cap, I just be trying to figure out what are they trying to achieve. When I see women come on the panel, we already know the bullshit that's about to go down when we see them come up. Not all of them, but what do you say, 97%?
Yeah, I would say about a cool 97%.
So we know that they about to make some type of bullshit fallacy, imaginative fantasy thing that goes wrong. What about this? And what about it's all going to be a whole bunch of what aboutisms. And we know that they gonna be playing. I'd be wondering, like, bro, why do y'all even want to talk to these women? Like, what do we achieve by letting them come and get involved in our conversations? That's what I'd be trying to figure out. And I know that some brothers have different goals, but man, I'm not into explaining logic to illogical people. If we know everything they say, damn near everything they say, we've debunked, we've argued it down. Why do we keep wasting our time? Not we, I'm just saying some individuals choose not to waste their time, but they're choosing to constantly try to explain it again to them. Or we rehash the same conversations every couple years. And it's like, no, we don't even, we not we. I choose not to even waste my time having a conversation with a female about none of this shit. Because she's going to come up with some asinine reason why she's a whore. And we let these women
Yeah.
come in like, yeah, it's not always like that. Well, of course you would say that. You're trying to get another man to take care of that other dude kids right now.
That's what
You
y'all want.
don't like not all single mother. Of course you're gonna say that. You a single mother. And dudes gravitate, but we brothers, so we I mean, we know how we are, but that's what I be wondering. Like, this woman on here is a baby mama. Divorced. She's coming up here agreeing with us, milking the dudes who gonna send her some money. You got dudes who send women money they ain't even seen. I'm like, damn, you sending money to a voice? That's some weird shit. And it's like we can't argue with these dudes or try to explain nothing to a group of men that'll send money to a voice. You know what I mean? What can you say to those type of people? Like, dude, you sending money to a voice. You might as well send us some money too. That's all we can say.
Yeah, I do get some money sometimes, man. I mean, and I do appreciate that from the guys who do send me cash apps and super chats, But I do notice that, and I mentioned this last night. If you are a chick, and it could just be a chick's voice that pretty much piggybacks up off the men and say what the men say, then a lot of guys will give a lot more credence to that than to hear a guy say it. Now, I mean, but then again, people have the freedom to do what they want to do.
Yeah, I kind of thought that was a bad look. When the voice came along at first, and I didn't understand it because like G said, it's just a voice and an avatar.
Mm.
But to me, it seems like guys voted with their pocketbooks, and the rest is history. Won out. So it's just like a fight that you just give up more or less. You know,
Yeah.
and
Oh
I
yeah.
and and I think the voices had some utility. So I just take it for what it is.
Yeah. Shout out to Free Will Defender and Jamil Sword for coming by. Thank you, fellas. Um, yeah. Let me also make this point as well. Although we do say these things and it don't make sense to us, people are free to do what they want to do with their money. But I do get the point when people say that. It's like it's just really weird that we will sit there and talk about women being in the space, how much they don't need to be in the space, yet when they are here, a lot of you guys are their biggest supporters. Some of the ones that say that women don't need to be here, we will see you guys in those chats. And I'm not going to say any names or call anybody out because I am a believer in freedom of choice. But what I will not ever support or condone is hypocrisy. Be a person of your word. Don't come over here and say one thing and then go over there and in other spaces saying other shit because that's one thing that I grew to dislike, coming into my own as an adult, is messy ass niggas. I can't stand that shit. It is like those guys are worse than fucking females. Now, I'm not talking about all of you guys. I'm not, because a lot of you guys are 10 toes down. Seriously, and you don't care. You're just like me. You don't care what other motherfuckers think. But what I am saying is to the guys who speak one way in one space and then speak another way in another space, you guys that do that to me are worse than a lot of these females. Complex design, what's going on?
Then on top of that, Cam, like I said, I ain't never sent the bitch a rusty cent on the internet. They can't get a rusty nickel from me. I'm cool. What I'm gonna send you some money. Now I've sent Charles money. I've sent BG. I've sent I've sent you. I've sent everybody that I enjoy their content some money. But this, because I support black male content, no matter what. I believe in us supporting ourselves by any means necessary, basically. But the way the shit I see these dudes do is like we get on the panel, and it's not these dudes just. It ain't everybody. We get on the panel. The girls get on the panel. They start telling us to shut up. Like, y'all shut up, let them talk. Like, what the fuck going on here? I thought this was the manosphere. Like, no, we gotta talk to them. Like, no, the hell we don't. We don't know these hoes. You know what I'm saying? And it's just it go from there. And that's why I just get off the panel. Like, G, calm down, man. You a pookie. I was like, God damn, now I'm a pookie because I don't want to.
What?
Listen,
Oh
man, I
man.
tell you, we'd be cool talking. We'd be cool talking about something that could benefit the men. A bitch to jump on these niggas that forgot everything we talking about.
It's like it happens every time.
Then they want to go into a whole spiel of the report. Like, dude, stop. These bitches know what's going on, man. These hoes are stupid. Then you look at the picture, you get the cameras up, a bitch in the camera playing with her hair. Come on, man. Like, come on, dude. Like, come on, man. This shit not that serious, man. And it's serious in that this is an intellectual practice that we do. But man, when dudes bring it in, that's what you know. When they said it years ago, man, most of these niggas is not red pill. They don't understand what that means. Like, we all like women and we all like having sex with women. We're not gonna act like we don't. But for niggas to be sending money to women that they not even having sex with, touching, feeling, nothing. Like, I never understand OnlyFans. Nigga, porn free. You niggas are going on OnlyFans and paying people to talk to them. Like, man, I never understand that. Like, I would personally never understand what you get out of that. But there are individuals that benefit from those services and stuff. And I'm not knocking nobody for whatever get their jollies off, but we need to start addressing this shit when we see it and exposing these niggas. That's what I said. The manosphere got a bad habit of not wanting to expose certain shit that's fuckery.
So,
and I think we just passed that point. We at a point now where, okay, we've been in existence for years now. Everybody, the pecking order is established. Now it's time to expose the fuckery going on.
So, G, are you saying that has the conversation taken a turn about women's presence in the space, or you're contributing to women in general?
Both. But women's, first off, I don't understand the purpose of women's place in the space. I know we got certain dudes that's advocating marriage. I don't understand how y'all doing that. Red pill, like I'm definitely anti-marriage. I'm not anti being in a relationship and having sex, but why would I be telling men to go legally marry these bitches with doing what they doing? Then on top of that, you know the brothers need help keeping their channel going to help pay a couple extra bills, and you listen to their content faithfully every day. But you won't send him $5, but you will send this bitch $100 you don't even know.
Yeah.
And they got like, I ain't sending no man no money. And dude, like, this YouTube daddy shit. It's not YouTube daddyism. You don't only get advice in life from your father. You get advice from the wise man around you. That's what's wrong with black men. We so gynocentric and fucked up that we think taking advice from a man is he being your daddy. Like, what? Like, yeah, we slow as fuck for that, man. If a man gives you advice and he's a wise man, he's a counselor, he's a friend that's trying to guide you. He's not your daddy. But niggas, oh, you a YouTube daddy, sounding like a bitch. I'm not meaning it in a derogatory term, but that's what that shit sound. That sound like the logic of women. Oh, he gave you some advice, so he must be your daddy. So your daddy is the only person that ever gave you advice in your life?
Yeah, I can't agree with that. But I don't think we could stop the money flowing to the women, though. It's just, the genie's out of the bottle with that.
Look at him. No, it's YouTube daddy. So, and if it was, so what? Some people don't got real fathers. So
true.
you shaming. We're supposed to be brothers and helping each other build, but you shaming a brother for getting the advice that nobody was there to give him in real life. And we know the shit we had to go through and grow up in this place. But now you gonna shame him because he needs that advice. He never had nobody to tell. He grew up with his aunts and his mom and his grandmother and sisters. He never was around a male for him to teach him how to carry this situation. So now, instead of opening the door, you gonna shame him and call him, oh, that's a YouTube daddy. Like having a daddy is a bad thing. These niggas is weird, man. When has having a dad been a bad thing?
Never in my book.
Yeah, and they always talk about the lack of fathers in the black community, but me in particular, is I do believe that calling someone a YouTube daddy or saying that's your YouTube daddy, that is a way of trying to shame someone. You know,
Yeah.
I will say that, and yeah. But Rael, we got Rael up here. What's going on? Give us your
Salute,
thoughts,
Rob.
brother.
Hey, what's up, Rael?
Salute.
Peace, Kev, peace of the panel, peace of the chat. Um, some dudes are kind of new to the space, and some dudes have been around for a long time. And for the ones who've been in the space a long time, we know the difference between somebody who is legitimately trying to actually um, help and those who are trying to give the impression that they're trying to help, but they're actually not helping. Um, the beautiful thing about brotherhood is that it's an agreement amongst men to have each other's back. See, sometimes your own dad won't even have your back. All the people who've never had a father in their lives, um, just because you have a father around, that don't mean he gonna have your back like that. You will hope he would, but it ain't a guarantee. Brotherhood is different. Now, if your father has your back, that means you have a brotherhood with your father. But brotherhood requires a much greater investment. And I don't care what anybody says. Women, and I will say this, and I will keep saying this, do not have any input whatsoever when it comes to the development of men. Their opinions don't matter. Their feelings about what you're saying don't fucking matter. Because ultimately, men decide what masculinity is. This has always been the case. 60 years of single mom led households does not change millions of fucking years of human evolution. It doesn't. And the reason why we know it doesn't change it, because the manosphere exists. The space came about because many black men saw in black America, because many of us have come from the pro-black side of things. And even when it came to the pro-black side of things, many of us realized that a lot of that shit was bitch-made bullshit. I remember when I used to be on that shit, and when brothers would try to implement things that centered around brotherhood, and it was always these dashiki wearing bitches fighting it. And one of the most effective ways for them to get brothers to stop moving on brotherhood was to try to label the shit as some gay shit. And so I have seen women, multiple women throughout the years, come into these spaces like this. And I have seen very vulnerable black men, especially younger ones, who were looking for some guidance to get to the right place. And you will have dudes that will just allow females in chat just say the most egregious shit. Because for many of these men do want to go back and forth with bitches. Because the truth of the matter is, many of them are bitch made in their own heart too. They want to go back and forth. They like to argue with bitches. It's what they love to do. Now, for those type of dudes, hey, that's y'all. But when you try to set up what you're doing under the guise of helping black men, but really you just want to argue back and forth with bitches, I think that just is very disingenuous on your part, and you're actually harming young men who actually want to get to a level where they can learn something, where they can be productive and be on their purpose. Remember, rites of passage programs were specifically about ushering boys into manhood so they could be on their purpose. That was the primary function of it. And to separate them from their mother. So for all the dudes who, moms who, weren't the best moms and things like that, congratulations. You learned early. Because that was what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to separate anyway. Because you need, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to keep saying this, you need your masculinity more than you need your mama's love.
Facts.
Period. If you got to choose between one of the two, you better choose your masculinity. Because your masculinity, number one, is going to be a love of yourself first. And that's the most important. Because if you love yourself, if you truly love yourself, you ain't going to let nobody compromise who you are, even your fucking mom. Who can be the most evil person in your life, could be your biggest enemy, could be your biggest obstacle to you actually fully assuming your masculinity. That might be the motherfucking boss at the end of the game you gotta fucking defeat. Are you prepared to do that? Are you gonna snatch your fucking masculinity out your motherfucking mama's hand? Or are you gonna kowtow to her and let her emotionally abuse you into submission? Because when you become a man, your mom can't whoop your ass. Yeah, shit, if you're a teenager, depending on your size, shit, she can't whoop your ass. So really all it is you giving her the power over you. And if you give her the power over you, that's on you. But what happens is in spaces like these, you have men, let me check that. You have males who give you the impression that they're men, that they want to help you. And they don't. They trying to work out some shit that they traumatized by. A lot of them are not even informed enough about anything to really understand what's going on. But, they can start a channel on YouTube and they can just talk and 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 talk. So for me, I'm of the mindset that many of these people that people like to put on pedestals are not worthy of being on these pedestals. Because there's some of the main reasons why there's so much fucking confusion in the space in the first place. And people just keep giving them passes after passes after fucking passes. Even when they're exposed for doing this shit, people still give them passes and give them passes. Let me explain something to you. Don't let a space like this that got some charlatans in it use the fact that you didn't have a father in your life as a way to get over on you to play you. Because they're doing it. For all the talk that a lot of these dudes have about the bitches, guess what? Many of them roll just like them. They just in a male body. They're just in a male body. And matter of fact, they have an easier time to trick you than the bitches do. Because they look like you. They kind of talk about things that's of interest to you, but One of the greatest compliments I've ever been given was when I was in college. And it was my homie, man. He was Nigerian. I was in my late 20s actually at this time. And you just never know who's listening to you. And he said to me, he said, Ryan, you know, one of the things, he said, when I need to make a important decision in life, he said, I would rather come to you than go to my own parents. And I said, what? And he said, yeah, man. He said, man, the way you think about things, he said, man, you look at things from all different angles and then you make the best decision. He said, a lot of times when I go to my parents, they just tell me to do things just the way they think it should be done. They don't look at it from different angles. He said, you look at things from different angles and then you make the best choice. He's like, so when I need to make an important decision, he said, man, I'd rather run it by you first. He said, a lot of times that's what I do. I run it by you to see what you think about it. And it really showed me that you never know who's listening to you. And when you give somebody advice, you better be mentally in a position to actually give them the best advice because they can make a decision personally off that advice that can make or break them. And so the question that a lot of these dudes are going to have to ask themselves when you're listening to people who have been, because we know what the track record is, when you're listening to people who have been primarily some of the main culprits of why there's been so much confusion in the space, you're going to have to ask yourself, based on your own knowledge, wisdom, and understanding as a man, are they really giving me the best advice that I can take that's going to better develop me as a man moving forward? Period. Period. And so I'm not going to put it all off on them because brotherhood requires you to put some in. Brotherhood requires you to make an investment, not on some parent-child relationship. Brotherhood is a family type thing, but it's a mission-oriented thing. And that means you have to play your part in your own ascension as a man.
Yeah.
And if you do not understand that concept, you're going to get played in these spaces just like on the female side. You got females on that side doing the same thing to black females, keeping them triggered all the time too. And then y'all gonna meet each other in these spaces where you're constantly fighting each other and ain't shit getting accomplished in these individuals' lives. Many of us have seen some of these same females on the other side, around on the fringes of these spaces, and we have seen many of them go absolutely nowhere. But they on panels, they in chats, arguing, fussing, and fighting, but they ain't going nowhere. Now, the content creators that they're supporting, yeah, they're getting paid. They have a vested interest. But are the masses of young, I've literally seen young dudes like literally type, I'm tired of these old niggas talking shit. I'm tired of them. I'm talking about dudes who used to come around, you don't even see them anymore. They dropped out. They say, you know what? I'd rather go figure this shit out myself than listen to these old dumbasses. Because you don't necessarily have to know a lot of information. If you can critically think, you don't necessarily have to read all these type of books to know a dumbass when you hear one. You don't. You don't. And many of these, especially Z young men, they're not trying to listen to these. old dudes. They're just not. And for good reason. Because many of them don't have anything to give them, but something to complain about. And that's not what brotherhood is about. Brotherhood is about a mission. And your mission is your manhood and your masculinity. How do you best achieve that? How do you get from A to Z? And we have in the space uh, one of the best channels that help Black men do that. That's the Black Brain Trust. Track record speaks for itself. For years, they have done nothing but give Black men nothing but the type of information that best prepares Black men for this fourth industrial wave in terms of fields, tech certifications, business opportunities that are opening up before us. We are in some of the best times that we could ever be in as Black men. The sky is not falling. All that other type of stuff that people like to talk about is bullshit. We are the most free than we probably have ever been in this country. But the question is, do Black men have the will to use that freedom?
Yeah,
We don't owe
not even probably, Rob. We are the most free we ever been.
we don't have any elite. We don't owe anybody shit. We don't owe the Black community shit. We don't owe Black females anything. The only people that we owe something to is ourselves. But do you believe as a Black man that you have the right to live free, to pursue life, liberty, and happiness? If you believe that, be careful of who you listen to in these spaces
Oh,
because
yeah.
they don't have your best interests at heart. They want to keep you triggered and mad at bitches all the fucking time. But if you ask these dudes to give you a blueprint to get you from A to Z, they couldn't tell you. At least channels like the Black Brain Trust will give you from A to Z different types of fields. The track record speaks for itself. You got to take my word for it. You got tons of videos that men can go 3, 2, 3, 4, 5 years back, where much of the stuff that they talked about 2, 3, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, is coming to pass, has come to pass. And many Black men, because they were going from channel to channel being triggered, many of them lost out a lot of years instead of actually learning skill sets. They were fighting on channels with men or males who were giving them the impression that they were out to help Black men, when the reality is they're not out to help Black men. They out there trying to work out some own internal shit emotionally and psychologically through a YouTube channel, and it's not working to your best interest. You need to understand the difference between a brotherhood and a matriarchy that's being sold to you through the male gender.
Now, while I agree with you in them points, we able to discern the men that are just trying to argue with women. So we know that we don't need to name who they are. Well, we could name. I'll name them. I don't got a problem doing it. But I know when I hear the men that's just concerned with women, and that's just with that. Like I listen to the Black Brain Trust. I listen to Search for a Huru. I listen to a couple of the good brothers that's talking about progression and doing things and building an actual brotherhood. And like you said, there is those older brothers in the space that they want to. How do you put it, Rael? What would you think, Kev? They want us to reunite with these bitches. You know what I'm saying? And we not on that shit. We on some real brotherhood. Like, no, we need to build our own organizations, our business groups. We need to network with each other. I'm not gonna say need to. I said I would like to. That's what I would like to get to in this space. I would like to network with the brothers. I like to build with the brothers. I would like the brothers who actually have the willingness and fortitude to link up with each other and make something shake, do it. And it's just we run into this interference. But I also do respect the elders too. I respect the elders to a certain point with certain things. Like y'all know how I believe. I'll never listen to one of these old niggas about no women anyway. Cause I know that they Symphopotamus Rexes. You know what I'm saying? these the old niggas is y'all done heard me railing on them old niggas. These niggas is Symphosaurus. I don't know what to say. These niggas want us to save these hoes. But there is a concept. Like y'all ever read the book The Godfather by Mario Puzo?
No.
Well, it talks about the concept of the Godfather or the Don. And it exists in a lot of different cultures that there is a wise man that's not about bullshit, that all the other men adhere to, not because he's their father, but because he has the experience and he showed his track record at handling business, life, and everything. And that's why they call him the Godfather. Like, Godfather, I need help. I need guidance, Godfather. I need this. And that's not a bad concept. Now, we know, like Ross said, some of these niggas is simpletons. You know what I'm saying? But we have to cherish certain things. Not about women, though. We never listen to these old niggas about no women. Because they raised these bitches. So we can't never forget that these old niggas raised these bitches we dealing with now. So while much as they come over and agree with us with certain things, they still indulge these women. They're the ones who made these women, and they the ones who put the fallacies in their head. So I think a discerning man know that. But we have to value our elders, man. Like we talk about the Black Brain Trust and the guy on the search for who and the tech guy, the brother that does the tech stuff, and we all build. Now, I would like to try to figure out a way to bridge a gap and actually start a physical group, like where we really deal with each other and we're really physically doing the things we talk about. Because no matter what we talk about, if we not doing action, no matter what we talk about, we could come up here and talk about crypto and business and small community and crowdfunding and tech. But if we're never actually doing that stuff, we're just talking. And the truth of the matter is, if we don't do it with each other, the black community ain't about to do shit. Most of these niggas want to watch basketball, and these bitches want their hair done. So us even up here talking about socioeconomics, business, all that, we are that percentage. And that's what I'll be trying to get people to know. Like, nah, we are that 10%. Not we not the 10% that's rich. We're the 10% that's actually thinking about our socioeconomic movement. We're actually thinking about our position in society and how we should move and what we should do. The average brother not in the manosphere. The average nigga is on YouTube watching music videos and big booty bitches. So that's all I would like to advance to inside. That's why I don't get the point of talking to the women and shit. Like if we're about, like you said, right, if we about brotherhood, if the space is actually about brotherhood and people are about brotherhood, I'm not saying everybody do it with your small local group in your area. That's what I'll be looking for. But every time I reach out to these brothers, and I travel different states every day, and I want to pull up on these brothers and talk to them, these niggas hiding from me. They don't want me to pull up. Like, damn, I'm right here. I can pull up on you. I don't need to stay with you. I'm going to get a hotel. Oh, man, I'm busy. Damn, you wasn't doing shit. You was on the internet for 10 hours yesterday. I get here now, you busy. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I'm tired of the fuckery, and I'm going to start calling it out. I'm going to start naming names. Like, I pulled up on you. You was nowhere to be found. I tried to holler at you. I told you I'd take us to lunch and pay for dinner if you was, a little bit on financial times. I don't have children or nothing like that. So my money is, only mine. But these brothers, they don't want to meet up. I'm not going to say they don't. The people that I've met, the only one that was willing to meet with me was Commander Faulkner. But I ended up getting a different route, so I didn't have to go to Baltimore. I ended up going to Jersey. But he's the only one really that was willing to meet up with me. And then, one of the bitches in the manosphere, I put that dick on her ass. I ain't gonna talk about that though. But we ain't gonna talk about that. We're gonna keep her a secret. She was talking all that shit, came over there, went over there she went to Turkey Leg Hut with me and got this pipe. But that's it. But when I was down in Houston, I met up with one of the chicks. She was talking all that shit. Later on that night, she was assume the position. We ain't talking about that though, but that's what I'm about. That's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to meet up with brothers, start a chess club, book club, anything we could do together that'll benefit us in the future. Because if not, I'm just tired of talking so much.
Hey, Rael, are you still
Yeah.
there? Would you say that what's lost on some of the newer brothers that come into the space is the fact that ultimately they have to make their own decision on everything that they hear?
Well, yeah, they're ultimately going to have to make their own decision, but they're not going to be. Uh, it's a caveat to that because when you have channels, um, okay, let me give you a scenario. Let's say you had a channel that was talking about how to learn how to code, do, I don't know, C++ programming. But let's say me and you get into it. But I know that, and I see a young cat that says he's interested. I'm on another stream another day, and I see a young cat that says he wants to learn how to program, and he's looking for some help in doing that. Now, me and you got into it. I know your channel exists, but because now I don't like you, I'm not going to share your channel with this young dude who needs the help. Would that make me a bitch nigga?
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm saying. You have dudes in the space that do that type of shit.
got it.
They do that type of whole shit. And then when they're calmed on it, when they're exposed for doing it, niggas just act like the shit didn't even fucking happen. Like niggas act like, oh well, because he's this particular person in the space. Well, could it be that a motherfucker like this is in the space and popular because a motherfucker has done this shit to other motherfuckers and propped themselves up against the more worthy motherfuckers?
No, most definitely. I've seen people with superior content, but people go to it. People don't go to their channel because they're not entertaining. That's like, I think
Bingo.
Nameless's content is pristine, but just because he has a way of speaking and he's not trying to entertain you per se. I mean, it's entertainment at the end of the day, but I'm saying, you know how Nameless speak, but it's not. Nobody's arguing. He's not arguing about no bitches. So nobody really tries to go to his channel. They want to go to the channel where niggas is talking about fucking a bitch with big titties. And these foolish ass niggas. like, come on, man. That's why I say a lot of this, it has to be a separation.
Yep.
And we talked about this like a year and a half, 2 years ago. It has to be a separation amongst the men now. Now it's going to be a separation of who really about this shit, who just talking.
Hey, Faulkner, is that you, officer?
Of course.
Okay, cool.
Ain't nobody this handsome gonna be there.
All
How
right.
about that boy look like a snapping turtle?
Nigga, you look like a special needs monster.
I know somebody who like it.
Oh,
Hey G, I put my stuff in the back chat.
Okay, bro, I got you. Let me look. Let me write it down. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. You in the city of brotherly love, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a big raggedy motherfucker, man.
You talking about the picture?
No, the streets and shit. When I went to Philly for the first time, I thought this shit was gonna be a national monument. Y'all still got brick roads and shit.
Man, I ain't been to
Yeah.
Philly since '85, bro. I said I'd never go back to Philly after that.
Many
I
of,
was a kid.
That's a big
many of,
raggedy motherfucker, and it stink. I was like, this motherfucker stink.
I can't argue with you.
many of the, even though y'all got pretty girls in fucking in Philly,
In some spots.
they're about as rough as the niggas.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah, if you can get you a bad chick from Philly, they be banging when they bad.
yeah, like
I
the
mean, but
girl
when
from
they hit too.
the one who played the oldest daughter, the one who played the oldest daughter on Black Lightning. She's from Philly, and it's like, they cute dog, they look good and they bad, but they like, yo, you one of them Baltimore Johns. Let me see, they just as bad as fucking New York chicks. Like, goddamn, you gonna give me that dick or what?
Yeah, they can be rough. Yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
Well, cool to have bitches, yeah.
Hey, I went there. I was in Philly, right? I was doing the delivery, man. Them streets are so narrow, right? I was
Yeah.
like, man, I had came through and we had went and got what's the famous cheesesteak place, man?
Well, they got Pats, and
With the
then
yellow cheese. They got the yellow cheese.
they all put that nasty cheese whiz on it.
Yeah, that shit's
Whatever.
horrible. I
Yeah.
was like, man, this shit is horrible. I had a better cheesesteak at what's that shit? Pepper Jacks.
I
Yeah.
remember
Y'all
Philly.
different, but
I
you know
had a
y'all
Philly.
got great bratwurst and shit. Man, I had a bratwurst there that was amazing. It had
Okay.
like grilled onions and sauerkraut and shit on it. That shit was amazing.
I had a
That's
Philly
probably one of the best sausages I had.
giggity.
Yeah, we got some good stuff. You just gotta know where to find it. Like anywhere really. I
And
wouldn't direct anybody to the popular spots.
then I went to a place called Halal Q that was out there. You know what I'm saying? They was pretty good. It was everything halal. It was the Muslim brothers in there serving food. They had a tight ship running. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Well, they was pretty cool. What that motherfucking cheesesteak was horrible. I ain't know what the
Yeah.
hype was about.
Last time I've been to Philly, I took a road trip. One of my ex girlfriends. God damn, I have a lot of them bitches. My homeboy said, "You got a billion ex girlfriends." Can't say I wasn't fucking. So it was funny. We took a road trip out there because it was this black lady who opened up a comic book shop. Real nice place. I wonder if she's still there. And I went, like, y'all got some nice ass comic shops, like classic shit, like a fan like me. Oh, I loved it. Y'all do have some narrow ass streets though. And at
Yeah.
that time, I don't know if it's still like that, but do y'all Beijing every goddamn thing?
Hey man, them niggas be Beijing down in Philly.
I mean, motherfuckers walk out there looking like a whole Sharpie.
Hey, they be having sharp lines though. They lineups be
I mean,
nice.
that line be immaculate as fuck, though. No fucking with them. No fucking with them.
No,
Man,
I
it's like
think
you took a Jedi lightsaber and the Sword of Omens to get that shape up.
I think the East Coast got the best barbers,
Yeah,
personally.
yeah. Big
As far
fan.
as what I've seen, they got the best barber. Cause out here, like the Midwest, man, it's like we can't go to certain barbershops if we didn't grow up in that area. You know what I mean? And I see like a
Okay.
lot of the East Coast, you could just go to barbershops.
I mean, don't
Yeah, we got some
not
good
all like
barbers.
not all like that, but you know, you live and die. You get ran out of town if you're a fucked up barber here, boy.
Yeah.
Man, these motherfucking barbers out here push your hairline to the back of your neck. Like, yeah, it's lined up nice. Like, man, what the fuck you just do to my hairline, man? You know how when you find a good barber, you trying to get they did like where you live, nigga. Shit, I'm trying to come to your house.
Like you gotta, like, yo, you need a place to stay.
And a dude cut my hair. A dude cut my hair out there in PG. Man, I wanted to kiss his ass. I said, boy, you cold blooded. I want to give you a kiss.
Hey,
Wow.
we just had Mr. Z come up. So
Salute, Mr. Z.
hey,
Man,
what's going on?
fuck that nigga.
Hey, hey, hey.
What's up,
Um,
Zoe? What's up, Zoe?
What's going on? If y'all don't know why I just said, hey,
Fat Albert up
look,
here.
look. We know why this lady is on what she's on, okay? All you got to do is look at her, and we know why she said what she said on social media. If I'm, am I correct that you're covering what I think you're covering, Kev?
But I mean, you're allowed to give your input, but I'm not covering her hatred for black men. But
Oh,
Or
oh,
her.
but
okay. I thought.
but I am.
Mhm.
But she is very much on sign language.
Oh yeah,
Or
yeah, 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 yeah. Well,
Kev,
one thing.
with all due
Go
respect,
ahead.
Kev, are you going to cover her hatred of exercise and good eating?
Oh, hey,
My
hey,
man
y'all
saying
know
the
me.
hood we used to
I
Got
don't
call
give.
got
jawbone.
more chins than a Chinese phone book.
I mean, y'all know me. I don't give white supremacy a rest, right? But when she tried to blame white supremacy for her diet, I was like, okay, I
Yeah, she
mean,
was out of
look,
pocket for
bro,
that
come
shit.
on, man, like,
She said,
no,
"Well,
bro,
Donald Trump became the president, so I got fat."
bro. I was
Yeah,
like, when
that was
she did that,
crazy.
I was like, bro, okay, no, no, no,
Uh,
no,
that's generational fat right there, boy.
bro.
God damn.
And for me, okay, the weight is another thing, but you're speaking the way you're speaking and talking about sign language. You're speaking the way you're speaking in about black men specifically, and it's very clear why you are. And I was saying that in the comment section under Dr. Hassan when he covered it. I'm like, I'm so tired of us tiptoeing around why women that look like this sound like this. We all know why they sound like this. We all know why they use sign language, but we gotta play the game with them. Like, yeah, let's have a debate, and I won't bring up the fact that you're morbidly obese and unattractive, and that's probably why you sound the way
Or
you sound about black men.
it's not even that you obese. We not gonna bring it the fact that you shaped like a motherfucking poblano pepper.
Bruh. And the
That
thing
ain't
is, like,
even because niggas like big girls. We got niggas
no,
fuck
she is
big
not,
girls.
that she's more than big, bro. She is
But no,
more than
she's
big.
not even
She's
big. It's not even her
She
size. It's that she
she's
shaped.
so
We don't like
damn she's
we
so
don't like
damn big.
poblanos.
She's so damn big. She transcends space and time.
I mean, we have to,
Mm.
She
and
has
that's what annoys me.
gravitational pull.
She's Jupiter, but what annoys me about this conversations with
I
women
see the
like
rings
this,
around her neck.
and the moons, but fucking Charles. But the problem with women like is that the it's almost like society demands that you have a good faith conversation with a woman like this, even though you know where they coming from for real.
Yeah.
You know what's I'm gonna steal a nameless word, but you know what's animating why they're saying what they're saying, but you have to pretend like you don't know why they sound the way they do. So we got to talk about everything else. We actually got to debate how much are black men ain't shit. Let's see how much well, I don't think we're not shit, right? Like, but you know why she's saying what she's saying. Like homegirl literally said, essentially, we're terrorizing the black community. We're being
Well,
radical. And I'm like, bitch, of course you would say something like that because niggas ain't trying to take to your heart.
yeah, nobody terrorizing her. The only thing terrorizing her is pepper pickers.
The only thing that's terrorizing her is a gas powered vibrator.
She ain't even got that bitch. I'm telling you, listen, man. That's
That
why.
motherfucker,
That's like
her
we talking.
dildo is nuclear powered.
We be talking about this shit. We got like it's a woman, bro. We know women's 75% of women's motivation is for niggas to look at them. We know that. So when they not getting looked at, we don't even everybody wonder, like we don't even take these type of women serious in the community. First and foremost, bitch, you know
Gee,
you
let me
gotta
push
pay
back a
what you
little
weigh.
bit. Let me push back. Let me push back a little bit. People,
Nigga,
women like
nigga, you're
her got
stronger than
one.
Superman.
Right? Here's the thing. It For her, it's not even that she's getting ignored. It's worse than ignored in indifference. She's the girl that we make fun of you with, right? And I'm saying we in general. I've never done that, but like she's the girl like you point at your homeboy, be like he's trying to talk to you, be like, ugh, no, I'm not, right? And like you could imagine you could tell she been through that. You could tell she been through that. And so for her, that's what she thinks as terrorizing. Now that she has this place in academia, women like that want to rain hellfire down on average brothers because she was not chosen. And not even just chosen, she's not desirable.
Not at
Yeah,
all.
And that's
she
something y'all gotta really pay attention. There, we know that there's angry bitter sisters, but now that they have certain positions in politics or in academia, they're gonna make black men feel it. But they're gonna talk about everything but the fact that they hate what they see in the mirror, and they know black men don't find them attractive. So now that's why they talking shit about us. They're gonna talk
Nah,
about
you know
everything
what she
but that.
is though. She the girl that you meet on a Tuesday night that you ain't even gonna sleep with. You just gonna put it in her mouth and not look, and feel ashamed of yourself when it's over. Like, okay, this was a good Tuesday. We ain't gonna tell nobody about this. But if the homies ask, like, yeah, that's jawbone right
First of all,
there.
there's no.
Let me answer Pataway boy real quick. You talking about Tarana Burke?
Oh God. By the way, there is no dick in the world that would get hard for that. She would
No,
turn.
that's why you're
She's
not looking at
engaged.
her.
You talking about Tarana Burke? Tarana Burke's
Yeah.
engaged.
Yeah, how
That's
much
why you're not
pay?
looking at her, Commander. That's why you turn to the side, let her do her thing, and then you just leave. Like, I'm gonna hit you up later. You're not gonna stay, bitch. I'm not hungry.
That ugly bitch will make your dick look like a deflated balloon. Like, yo, she'd turn your shit into a innie. Okay.
But but this the thing. This is come like we say. We know that this come from our community where you would see a 500-pound bitch with a 6'2" skinny nigga. So she think that, oh yeah, I can get this man. No, that
That's only
nigga's
because he
broke.
came out of jail.
Yeah, that's what he's broke. He needs somewhere to live.
And
And listen,
this is the
this is
society
our
we're living
fault.
in.
Yeah, this is our fault for because we stopped charging these hoes. You
Well,
supposed to charge
no.
them.
Women like this don't want to pay. See, this what you're talking about is paying what you weigh, right? Women like this, they want to pull you off of the strength,
That's a
right?
country
They want.
economy.
Say it again.
That's a whole
Hey,
country. That's a
Shaka,
global
that's what I'm
economy.
saying. Hey, Shaka, you know niggas slamming her. Niggas is slamming her ugly ass because she got some money. But
But this is
they not
but
look. But what it is she can't sustain it because niggas like
exactly,
it's like
exactly.
you could pay me for a couple days, but eventually I need something that makes my penis work. Like you
and
don't make
and
my
and
penis
that
work.
and
Yeah.
the problem with women like this is they know they're not desirable, and unlike men will pay. We'll be like, nigga, I'm short, I'm da da da, but I'll pay for it, and as long as you get wet, I'm good to go. Women like this, they paying for it. Chris Rock was 100% right when he said paying for it dry up the pussy real quick, right? She got to pay for that shit, and she know it, and it kills her, and it kills all women like this. That's one of the biggest killers, right? Is that they gotta pay for who they want, especially if it's somebody they find desirable, right? They gotta pay, and yes, she might make a little bit of guap, but she ain't making enough to pay for the type of nigga she really want. That's the problem. And you can imagine, you know that's killing her inside. It's killing her, and that's why she sound the way she do. And
Besides,
other women like her.
these.
Well, and I mean, if you're gonna talk about going back to sign language, right? Shaming, insults, guilt, a need to be right. Look at her. Look at her tweets. Look at her
And on
tweets.
top of that, it don't help, bitch. You carry a bag or a bottle of ranch around with you in your purse, huh?
And,
By the way,
Like you know that them bitches
no.
like that don't. You know them bitches like that don't eat nothing they can't dip.
G, I'm sorry. Even I got a limit, and I got to correct you, bro. First of all, she does not carry the ranch or the blue cheese in her purse. She put it underneath her titty in her bra.
She don't got no titties, man. That girl is shaped like listen, when I seen how she was, it's not that she's a big girl, because there's attractive, bigger women that niggas are attracted to. She's big with no breasts, no butt, no thought. Like she doesn't have a
Oh,
shape.
got him.
None of that. Like she's
Got him.
really,
It's just her titty looks like flapjacks.
yeah. Like she's,
yeah, and that's there. I'm agreeing with G on this one.
yeah.
The issue is she's just not appealing. Now think about this, right? You're a sister. You're highly educated, right? You're highly according to to formal education. You've reached the highest heights of formal education in the U.S. You're going on certain tours, right? You're somewhat known on social media. Okay, cool, but you can't keep a man with the damn. Now what? You think that shit don't kill them? They got all these little things put in place in their life, but they can't keep the weight off and they can't keep a man.
Hey, Z.
Go ahead.
Imagine sleeping with her and she's like, choke me. You'd be like, how?
I'm gonna have to put you in a headlock because I ain't doing that shit with one hand, bitch. Wait, Charles, don't you have to put your arm around somebody's neck to put them in a headlock?
Yeah, I mean,
What happens if they don't have a neck?
that's the perfect defense.
You see what I'm saying?
That's head and shoulders, boy. No dandruff.
Man,
Like this
Hey,
bitch,
her chin to chest ratio is 0.
I mean, this bitch looked like a whole fucking, like, goddamn, she looked like a whole tail
Hey,
beast from Naruto.
let me
But
say this
listen,
too.
not only her not
This nigga
only
said
she,
tell beast off of Naruto.
yeah, not
She
and
looked
tell
like a Jin Cherokee. God
and,
damn.
and not
Oh,
only is she like she's not appealing physically. On top of that, she got a horrible fucking attitude.
thank
So now
and
you're not even fat and jolly. You're just
hysterical. True
yeah,
though.
like you know what I
You
mean?
say
Like
True.
you
you
caught
just
that
like
by
True.
who want to be around a big unattractive
True.
grumpy bitch?
I just want to make this clear if she ever come across this. Miss Cooper, the reason we're talking about you like this is because you had the unmitigated gall to use your position in this society to talk crap about black men. And you know white society know why you talking like that. You know other black women know why you talking like that. You know black men know why you talking like that. And because nobody of your level is gonna say anything to you, you do that shit. So we talking about you like that because you playing a very dangerous game. And a lot of you sisters are playing a very dangerous game. Y'all are insinuating and sometimes outright saying that black men are terrorizing the black community, all because we don't find women like you appealing. So I just want to make sure that you ever come across this, you know why we sound the way we sound. By the way, those days are done.
and we sound
Using white racists against us, that's done. I just want you to know. Keep
and
going.
we
I'm sorry,
sound
Charles.
like and we sound like this because this big bitch dreams in IMAX.
That's what I'm saying. That's just like we was talking about these niggas that get on here and talk all this shit. And you niggas won't get on camera because you look like Jabba the Hutt. Nigga, stop playing with me. That's why I be getting mad at these females and these niggas, because we be beating around the bush and we gotta just say like you fuckable. Y'all, some motherfuckers is not fuckable. Just like everybody got mad at me when they're like, yeah, my girl keep cheating on me. Nigga, you probably got erectile dysfunction or something. I've never met because we don't talk about shit like that.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
we gotta
yeah.
just keep it real. And it's like, well, Pookie got all the kids. No, he don't.
Well,
You know who got all the kids. We
well,
not speaking the true
I
facts of
want
shit.
us I want us to have a real conversation. Look, we've done this thing in this society where we're so hyper focused, and I understand, on the money and your education, your status in the society, that we forgot that these people are still human beings. And oftentimes they get in their positions and then they try to rain hellfire on the people or the type of people that either overlooked them, ignored them, made fun of them when they were kids or young adults. Women like this, maybe people weren't making fun of her, but the fact that men in general, black men specifically, were indifferent to her existence is one of the reasons why she sounds the way she does. And what I
Where's Miss
hate
Cooper
is that
from? Where's she from, Zoe?
I can't I don't recall,
The dark
but
side of the moon.
That
She,
nigga said she's a
she
Decepticon. What the
you
fuck?
know, this chick is built like. You ever see the Thundercats old classic television show?
She built
yeah,
like Warb the cat.
No, she built like Tugbutt. Look it up.
Oh man.
The one who bounces, the fat one that bounces bounces on 3 legs and shit.
Oh
brotherly
no.
love says she's from North Jersey.
Oh
Oh
god.
man, them North Jersey niggas ran through her already.
Bruh, so like
Them niggas
you
in Jersey
imagine,
get down.
you're a northeastern black chick, you down the street from New York, and
Man, by New York, oh my,
you
all them
down the
bad
street
Puerto
from New York.
Ricans
You
and
see what I'm
Dominicans
saying?
and
You see,
Guyanese.
and
Oh
you
man.
gotta deal with the fact that the brothers are chasing after all them baddies all around you, and you're always the when I'm
You
chasing after
always
your
the
badass
designated
friend,
driver for the bad bitches.
or you're one that we send our wingman to go after because we
Yeah.
trying to go after your badass friend,
Yeah. You know the bad bitches always got an ugly ass homegirl with them.
Brittany Cooper.
bruh.
3-time defensive player of the year.
And I'm because y'all know me. I don't go after women like that. But the reason why I'm doing that is because the way she spoke, the way that tweet that she put out, number one, and number two, women like this keep on acting like people don't know what your real issue is. You
And
talking
number
about black
three,
men the way you talking is because you look the way you look, and you mad. That's
and
not our fault.
and that's not our fault because you store food in your cheeks for the winter.
Yeah. I'm
Oh
telling you,
God.
but I
You
listen.
take
I
one for the
know women
team.
like this. Listen, I know women like that. You know, I'm from the Midwest, man. We by far got the ugliest bitches. If you talking about ugly fine, I think the
Midwest.
finest bitches, yeah, the Midwest got the most frumpy looking bitches walking around. Not all
Hey,
of them,
by the
but
way, white and black, because white women from northern Midwest, that Minnesota area. Oh my
oh,
God,
oh my god,
disgusting,
Uh,
nigga,
you talk about them fucking mutants?
disgusting.
They look
Go
like
ahead, go Charles.
they look like something that Charles Xavier and his boys would fight.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
but this what it really be. This what it really be, though. It's somebody for everybody, right? And if you from the Midwest, man, you haven't traveled that much too much. But when you do travel and you get to the West Coast and the East Coast and you start seeing these fucking goddesses walking around, like you start seeing Jamaicans and Guyanese women and
Yep,
Brazilians and
yep.
Dominicans, you like, nigga, I'm not fucking with no bitch from back home that weigh 230 no more.
Let me say this to you. There was a dude that he was going to one of our law schools, white dude I used to work with. And me and my other homeboy were getting into a back and forth. He's like, women down here ain't all that. I'm like, you spoiled. You don't. We live in Miami, nigga. You're spoiled. You don't get it. And so the white boy jumped in the conversation because he was from Pittsburgh, I think. And he was like, look, the white dude, frumpy looking white dude. He was like, the women y'all pass by and don't look at would be a god where I'm from. He's like, y'all got J Lo's and Beyonces and all that walking by y'all every day. And where I'm from, that like everybody would be after those women,
Well, let me put it to you this way.
right? Go ahead, go ahead.
In Baltimore, prior to 2010, we had a lot of pretty bitches in the Baltimore, PG, DC area. All of a sudden, the curse of Brittany Cooper struck like a thunderbolt, and you seen bitches gain like instant 200 pounds trying out for the Ravens and shit. But
No, man, listen.
Salute to Brittany Cooper holding up the middle. That's how we got that ring for Ray.
No, you
But
don't
anyway,
understand though, Charles, because you from the East. Listen, people don't understand. These bitches out here in the Midwest think that they bad bitches until they go to the
I'll,
West Coast
I'll,
or the
I'll,
East
I'll put it
Coast.
to you this way: email me, and I'll show you my ex girlfriend from Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's why KS do, because nigga, we grew up, these bitches be big and burly.
Oh
You know what
shit,
I'm saying? And they the
early.
best thing,
I,
and
I,
they the best thing
you
we
know
haven't
what though?
seen. Yeah.
You know what though? I'm sorry, G, because what you're saying is true. When they come down here to South Beach and they see what we got down here, you could see the look on it. Because I never lived on South Beach, but I used to go so much I practically lived on South Beach. And we talking about like 10 years ago, right? 11, 15 years ago. But G is right. When women from not the East Coast or the West Coast, but he's 100% right. From the Midwest and certain places from the South, when they come down here from spring break and for Memorial Weekend especially, you could see their mind explode because now they get a larger understanding. And you remember this is before social media blew up the way it is, before IG really blew up and stuff. When they come down here, they really understand what the competition around the country look like because all the competition stay visiting Miami. You amongst the competition for real. All these women talking about, oh, I'm not competing, bitch. Yes, you are, because this
Uh,
is what you got.
well, they were right. They're not competing. They were not in the runnings.
Oh
So
yeah, well that part. Yeah, yeah.
it's the fact of the matter. When you look at a Dr. Brittany Cooper, notice you don't see a lot of attractive, educated women. It's almost like an oxymoron. Have I seen educated women that are attractive? Yeah, I've dated them all. But the fact of the matter, I know I'm an arrogant bitch. I know.
Hey, hey,
It's the
hey, but y'all do know her nickname, right? Her classroom nickname,
Professor Crunk.
Professor Crunk.
Yep.
wait,
That's what her Twitter name is too.
it's not the nickname that I gave her. The nickname I be calling her like this bitch looked like she grew up and her nickname was Yum Yum.
Bruh.
I know I ain't shit. Go ahead.
It no, but I mean like
Oh
not
no.
not now let me get into my sentimental shit. This is sad, lady. This is sad. You're so bitter and so angry because you in your what 40s, late 30s, 40s, something like that, and we could tell you accomplished. You got your thing going. That's cool. That's good. You get little social commentator roles. That's cool. And yet you a overweight sister who's mad you can't have like a Charles, right? Or a Pookie. Pookie ain't even gonna slide through. And that's a young nigga with no money. You still can't give a Pookie to slide through. So I know that's what's killing you inside. The problem I have is that you then go outside the black community and weaponize white supremacy against black men. That's my problem. You try to tie us to the Buffalo shooter. That's my problem. Because you mad because you can't get the type of niggas you want. Go date the white boys then. Oh wait, you can't get the ones you want over there either. Oops. Go date the Latino said no too. Well, maybe you should lose just a teeny bit of weight and work on your attitude just a little bit, just a smidge, just a smidge, just a teeny bit, right? Just you know. But when you weaponize, bro, you tried to tie us to the fucking Buffalo shooter, lady.
Yeah, that's some fucked up shit right there. That's fucked up.
Hey,
God damn.
Especially
Go
with
ahead.
the bitch who look like she ordered everything but a number 2, number 4, number 5, number 6. Start creating numbers. Can I get a number 37? She ordered everything on the menu but said please and thank you. Come again. I swear to God, if this Margin Boo built bitch say one more thing, I swear.
That nigga
Y'all don't
said
know what
Margin
Magic
Boo.
Boo look like.
hey,
Oh,
Go
Supreme
ahead.
Kai looking
but
ass bitch.
Go ahead, Kev. Go ahead. Go ahead.
but let me play devil's advocate for a second.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Which is going to be very tough. But based on her disposition and the way that she looks, is don't you guys feel just a little bit of sympathy for her? Because I mean, she says the things that she says, and
No,
it's
No.
obvious,
No.
and it's obvious she's being propped up by
no.
WS propaganda media
No.
to do it.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
you
No, he right about that. He right about
Kev,
that.
I'm gonna tell you what, Kev.
Mhm.
And you know I respect the fuck out of you, Kev.
Yeah, what's going on though?
I'm gonna say this, and I mean this in the truest, because she's being propped up and she's allowing herself to be propped up. That makes you like her even less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
And
that
because she's
that's
not dumb. Charles is right. Yeah. Yeah.
that's low.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got
And then
you
on top of
you
that,
got
Kev, go ahead, Carl. My fault, Commander.
you got black men.
We all try to get in.
You got black men who have it hard out here, and these
Mm-hmm.
so-called educated bitches are gonna come
Mm-hmm.
out and try to compare us. See, here's the fucked up part that really gets me under my skin now that I thought of it. The hero of that fucking Buffalo shooting was a black man, a
Thank you.
retired fucking
Yeah.
officer, and you
Mm-hmm.
didn't have the decency of respect to give that man his kudos. Just
Mm-hmm.
like I gave the kudos to that Hispanic brother who was getting a haircut, the off-duty border patrol agent who took his
Mm-hmm.
fucking barber shotgun and said, "We're gonna get them fucking kids out."
Yeah.
Now, this is the shit that kills me. You're gonna take an opportunity to rub down on black men when we the hero. Fuck you. Fuck your fucking back of your neck looking like Smoky Links. Fuck you. Looking.
Shout out to Memorial Weekend. We're gonna be eating them shits.
And think
Fuck
about
her
this.
and
Even
the
though there
fact.
were black men who
Fuck
got
her and the
killed
fact
in that
that her
shooting too.
and fuck her because of
Yep.
two
Yep.
thirds of
Yeah.
and luggage looking ass. Fuck her because you disrespect the hero that man was because of you sick bitch. God damn, I can't stand this motherfucker.
Hey, and if we talking about sign language once again, that
Yeah.
insult part, that need to be right part, because she's sitting with some arrogance, right? So the insult part, and the shaming part, actually, fucking all of it, the whole word, right?
And
Sign exactly. She did. She literally in the tweet that I'm talking about, she literally fulfilled all of this,
and
right?
think about
And
this.
it go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead, Z. Go ahead, Zo.
No, I'm done. Go.
And think about this, though. Why would we feel bad for these bitches when you got bitches that have come on TV and national broadcasting and disrespect the man that arguably won them the right to have free speech?
Uh oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We don't feel sorry for these hoes. These bitches done forgot that we fought for this shit. We died for this shit,
Bruh.
man.
The man
We
took a
fought and
bullet.
died for this bitch disrespected
The
Dr.
man took
Martin Luther
Luther
King.
on
Martin,
to the next bitch. Now we talking about B. Simone for those of y'all that don't know.
no, we just talking about in general the shit
Yeah,
that
yeah,
these
yeah. Go
bitches
ahead.
do. Martin Luther King gave his life for her to be able to get integrated. And the very platforms you coming on disrespecting this man, you wouldn't even been able to talk on it if it wasn't for him.
Bruh.
You know what's
He
so disgusting?
single-handed, like we say, he single-handedly faced him and his group and organization single-handedly faced down the strongest military to ever exist. And you
And you know,
bitches think y'all could come say something?
you know what? See, I'm tired of these filthy mouth bitches, especially these young motherfuckers coming up now.
Charles.
First and foremost, she need to get them fucking 3 cuts out of her fucking head, looking like a fucking psych patient.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
really, you ignorant, unintelligent fucking sloth. God damn, why do these stupid motherfuckers get the most airtime?
Well, you answered it because think about who you have to be to look at Dr. Martin Luther King and say you are not a good person. You're not a good father because you're not a good husband
And
because you
hold up that.
disrespected
Hold
me.
up to that.
And
You're
that's
not a
alleged.
doctor. You're not a doctor. You haven't fought or marched for shit.
You
Nothing.
haven't done nothing except become a low-level millionaire.
She's a
And I'm not
comedian. She's a comedian.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But you haven't done nothing except become a D-list social media
Comedian.
celebrity.
You're not
That's
even
all you
millionaire.
got to your name. And like Kevin said on the clip, bitch, you're one accident away. You're one wrong joke away from going right back to working for Forever 21 or one of them companies, right? And yet you talking about Dr. Martin Luther King like you're a fucking somebody. Wow.
And
The
then
arrogance.
what tripped me out is the bitches is yassing her. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
That's
And
why
the
I
other
don't.
chick was kind of cute. I would hold at a bitch like that. That should be scaring the fuck out of me. That shit.
Listen,
Whenever I see women like that, and I'm like, bitch, you agree with that shit?
I don't hit
Damn.
women. Listen, I don't hit women, but I'll slap a bitch.
No lie, that shit low key scared me because we like what we like, and I'm like, okay, she kind of wait, you're agreeing with her? Oh shit, right? Like that man. Look, B Simone came out her mouth crazy, but I'm glad that they're saying this shit on the internet. Like y'all hear me say a million times, the internet is exposing us all, but it's really not that it's exposing us; it's that we're exposing ourselves. These women are so arrogant. They're so self-centered. They can't even filter themselves. Once you put a camera in their face, it's like they vomit all of this shit out. Everything they feel, they just bleh, right? Nothing close to chest. And the first thing out their mouth is usually how niggas ain't shit. Some very important nigga ain't shit.
Man,
These niggas fucking with these celebrity niggas fucking with these non-black women ain't shit. The average dude
man,
around me ain't shit. These
listen,
white boys ain't shit because they don't want to. They not taking me off of these black men's hands. The whole entire society ain't shit. Everything ain't shit.
But
That's what black women are saying right now.
I would question every black man around her that let that bitch walk in his presence and don't check her and work with her. I don't give a fuck how much money you get. If you sold, y'all already rich. The celebrities already have money, so we're not gonna say that. But if she go on Nick Cannon show, man, I'm not watching none of that shit. You let this bitch come on your show after she disrespected the doctor. Blatantly though, talked about him like he just was a nigga from the hood on the corner that was
Bruh,
just hanging out
that
drinking
was the
40.
thing. It wasn't even disguised as some type of like more intelligent critique, right?
No,
I've seen intelligent women do that, and they're really trying to get at him because of the whole cheating rumor. But she didn't
yeah,
even try to disguise it. She just
no.
like you said, she said it like he was just a nigga off the street, bro. Like what the
Listen,
fuck?
the dumbest shit you can hear bitches say and see them say is on Facebook. Bitches be on
Yeah,
Facebook
you
saying
know,
the
yeah.
dumbest, most retarded shit.
fellas, I'm gonna say this. Do you know the age of Dr. King when he first went to Morehouse?
Well, he was like in his mid-teens, right? Like 15,
He
16 or
was,
something
he
young
was,
as fuck.
he was
Mm.
15 going to
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
a
yeah. Yeah.
Think about this. He's 15 in the 50s going to the black college of black colleges. How exceptional do you have to be to do that? No internet, no Google, all brain. That motherfucker's brain was better than Charles Xavier. And you gonna tell me that a fucking Z-list celebrity whose comedy is about as funny as 9/11
Com- Air quotes comedy.
She don't do comment. She do women pander sessions.
Ooh,
all,
ooh, I like that. I like that.
all
True.
she did, and you gonna tell me that somebody is once in a generation, if not two generations, of intelligence
Mm-hmm.
of a Dr. King level individual or Malcolm X level individual. There's no comparisons. Like, you would not be considered toilet paper. And I've said this more than once.
Mhm.
We allow too many people to disrespect our heroes.
Yeah.
And black men, that's our fault. Because we should have said, shut the fuck up.
And that's why I
Well, hold
question.
on. The reason why this happens is because too many black men have allowed the heroes who, from a historical perspective, have actually laid down foundations and legacy. We allow those types of things to go to the wayside. And then what we've allowed to happen as well is to let academia um, chop up their legacy and try to um, take away their actual contribution. Um, we saw this most vividly with the Cosby situation.
I actually want to compliment you real quick, Raw, because I want to compliment you on that. Raw called it. He called it. I was on the panel when he called it. Like, y'all let King go down. I mean, excuse me, y'all let Cosby go down. All right. And he was right. He was
Yeah.
right. Go
Look,
ahead.
a lot of us supported Cosby, but motherfuckers was so scared to be called a sexist man pig that niggas was, oh man, I'm not saying nothing against
For
that.
real.
I mean,
I'm not saying
I
that.
saw it from the beginning. I saw it from the beginning. Um, from Tupac to Mike Tyson to Cosby to Neil deGrasse Tyson. You basically
And
you're talking
Tupac
about.
didn't do it either. Shit, fuck
I
that.
know. I'm saying, but basically,
Or
this
Mike
this is
Tyson.
this is where the business stuff really comes into play. When you don't have a business infrastructure, when the people who defend you speak out for you, and those people come in their direction, they don't have any support system. I remember this vividly when the Trayvon Martin situation happened, and rest in peace to Kobe. And you had people out there that was trying to push Kobe to come out there and speak. And Stephen A. Smith made a great point. He was like, you got all these people out here that's trying to tell Kobe to come out and speak. He was like, but they don't have the shit to lose that Kobe has. He was like, so if you want Kobe to come out here and speak, are you gonna come out here and speak with him? Don't try to push him out there to just speak and lose all his shit. And he got a family too. And but you don't have anything to lose on the line. So it's easy for you to be on the sidelines like, yeah, he should speak out. And so I think that, with all due respect, black men have dropped the ball historically because unfortunately, black men have gone, I'm going to be honest, like, it's some shit Ghostface Killer said a long time ago on one of his albums. Black America is filled with a bunch of smart, dumb niggas. Like, for real. Like, you have a bunch of, like, educated fools. You have people who can just overanalyze, but can't fucking make a move. They won't make a move at all. And then the next controversy comes around, niggas gonna chew on that bone and gnaw it to death, and then the next one's gonna come around. And the next one is gonna come around. Meanwhile, other groups of people are getting their shit together. And while so many silly ass black and white Americans are sitting here fighting over goofy ass shit, a lot of these foreigners, man, is gonna get in these positions, and then the next thing you know, your city is going to be ran by people who don't look like you in a couple of generations, and then you're going to be complaining about, man, these foreigners coming over here, but shit, you was voting for the party that were letting illegal motherfuckers come over here. So, like at the end of the day, I said this before, we have enough of great men that have participated in Black America, where we have our own heroes and our own myths. I mean, not myths, but mythology surrounding them. The problem is that Black men themselves don't support them. They typically have not been supportive of them. Um, how many people are talking or even know about people like Reginald Lewis, um, people like Booker T,
Like
all these
Philip
different
A.
By the
Randolph.
way, Ryo, where's Reginald Lewis from?
Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? You
Y'all
know,
don't know about Philip T. Randolph or
right,
Philip A. Randolph?
right. And
The real godfather of Harlem, the one that made Black people even be able to move into that section of Manhattan.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of times, we just not, we just, we just cool with being the footstool of just different people. And whenever a Black man shows his capability to lead effectively, and just get men to get on code, a lot of times the people that's going to fight him the most is not going to even be outside forces. It's going to be other Black men who just want to fight him and undermine him because he could say 99% of the shit that they want to hear and it's right and exact, but that 1% niggas will fight him to the damn death on that 1 fucking %. That's why shit can't get done.
Mm. Yeah, and let me add to that Martin Luther King bit from earlier. Even though it was involuntary, you had a man that literally gave his life for the cause, so that me and you, as Black men and as Black people, could have a better opportunity out here, you know, for all of us. And the audacity that people show in their disrespect of him based on a rumor.
Yeah.
And
And
listen, Kev, in pro-Black circles, I've seen worse. On Facebook, I've seen so-called pro-Black niggas disrespecting Martin Luther King, talk about he was a bitch and a coward, and that they with this and they with that while they at home on their computer drinking tea.
And who's the real coward?
Next to their white bitch.
These niggas got,
While burning
and the
incense.
nigga name on Facebook is Supreme Ra Daishiki Munu. Niggas think you niggas Wakanda was fake. When Black Panther came out, you seen an influx of so-called pro-Black people. And I remember when the movie died down and I made a post on, I haven't been on Facebook since 2018. I had made a post on Facebook. I said, okay, now that this movie shit dying down, we gonna see who the real people is. Why are you judging people? You need to mind your business. Man, Facebook is, I'm convinced that Facebook is a psyop, man. I don't give a fuck. Because I've seen some of the dumbest statements made on Facebook, man.
man, I can believe it, man, because it's once, like I say, once I made that Facebook group, I have never seen such derelict personalities in my life. Period. I mean, I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad. I mean, this is where I first discovered the sisterhood. And
Listen, man, I was on Facebook, Kev, and I've seen a bitch say that women really started the Black Panthers. Malcolm X was gay. Like they was just saying wild shit. I'm just like, where is y'all getting this shit? Well, everybody know what, and you know where they learning that shit at? In college. They going into these colleges, and these colleges is teaching them that shit. And they getting on the internet like, well, I went to school, and did you know that the black woman has a chromosome that produces all this, and we're God? And like,
Let me put it to you this way: it's all been found a fucking lie. Here's if you really want to see the hatred of black women, go to my Facebook page, and go to the Kevin Samuels versus Derek Jackson shit. You will see it live and in living color. Oh, that's why we're divesting. And you know when the chick said that shit, I said, "When you gonna leave so I can help you pack?" I don't give a shit. I said you with these crusty ass white boys, and y'all parading Jim Bob around like he's some Brad Pitt looking motherfucker.
man, they be with the worst white boys.
I
Like
mean, with white boys that even Asian women wouldn't touch, and they love everything that's white.
Man, listen. There was this girl I went to school with named, well, I ain't gonna say her name. She stacked, built brick house. She with a white boy. This dude was making her sell her kids. Like she would have a baby and he would like people don't know about that industry, man. Like there's an industry that exists in America where you can sell your kids. They call it adoption, but you give the kid like we're going to give it to you for free, but we're going to give you $10,000 for relocation. And that's how they work. And it's all type of adoption agencies all around the country. I know my man's had got into it with his baby mom, and she moved up to Indiana and sold one of his kids. So he was looking for his daughter, and he got a letter from this agency called Kids First LLC Adoption Agency. And basically, they the middleman to sell your kids to white people that can't have kids. And that's why you see all these weird, how the hell is all these white ladies popping up with black kids and Asian kids and shit? I'm telling you, this shit is weird.
Yeah.
But this girl I went to school with, every kid that white boy she had by that white boy, he made her sell that kid.
But was
and they don't talk about that, Charles. They don't talk about what these white boys be making them do.
Man, let me tell you something. This is about Facebook again. Like they're posting like Gabori Setabay's wedding pictures, like black men are supposed to be ashamed that we let her get away. Like
nobody's looking for Heavy D.
And I'm gonna say, look, and I'm gonna say it like Chris Rock said it some years back. We're actually congratulating them dudes for taking them off our hands. Hey, bro, good job. Thank you very much. You like it, I love it.
I think Scraps needs sleep.
No, that's why. Like, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send you the information. I'm gonna send somebody the info on the information. Like the shit that these dudes be making these women do when they be in these relationships, right? And I remember the girl I was messing with used to talk to the girl like, if he want me to do this, I do it. Basically, they be, man, the shit that them women be doing to be with those white dudes because they feel like it provides them some type of security, even though this motherfucker can't barely read, make $10 an hour. And I remember we got into it, and she compared me like, man, I make way more money than this dude. I'm in a way better position than this dude, but because he white, they feel like he's in a superior position to me. And a lot of times that be the case in white supremacy. But I'm saying, and this really, he was asking me get in a trade school. He didn't even know how to get into trade school or nothing. Man, this should be amazing, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was mentioning. Like about, that's what I talked about last night when it comes to this Travis Kelce, Kayla Nicole situation. It's about them being white. They don't care what level success you are as a black man.
Shout out to David Carroll. Mm. Now he rusted Power Piece in Paradise. Just the color of their skin wash away all iniquities. Mm.
Yeah.
Wash me white as snow, white Jesus.
But it's not just about white though. That's part of it. But when a white dude takes a black female who is well below the average man's standard, she's just not a good woman just across the board, just for typical black men. Her getting a white man in her mind, it legitimizes her, but it's also her way of thumbing her nose at black men and saying to him, your standard doesn't matter because I got a white guy who trumps you. Even though we have had women who, when we have talked about the types of female that black men don't want, they will literally say, well, you need to choose better. And then when you don't choose the ones that's out here because they're not better, because they don't meet your standard and your criteria, they'll try to get a white guy to supplant your standard and say, well, a white guy validated me, so your standard doesn't even matter. It's literally using his status to overpower your standard. To say that I got a white guy that validated me, so even though I don't meet your standard, a white guy saw me as good enough to choose, so his status supersedes your standard.
Yeah, and it's the fact that they see those guys as dominant. Like,
Hold on, I got a quick question, real quick, guys. Hold on. Sorry, Kev.
Go
Is
ahead.
anybody a pit master on this thing?
What do you mean, like what?
Like, know about the wood? Because I could get some cherry wood right now. I could get some oak, and I'm about to smoke some wings for tomorrow. So I'm trying to figure out if I should use cherry wood or oak wood.
Cherry.
Use cherry.
Use
Okay,
cherry.
yeah. Because the cord, the cord is a little bit more expensive, but you get a little bit more, like you get a little bit bigger cord.
Get some cherry, see how, and get a couple of coals, and then also get a little bit of kindling to start, the fire starter.
Okay, yeah, because I'm starting a fire now. I'm about to, I'm marinating the wings right now with honey, soy sauce, garlic, and salt and pepper. So,
ooh, taste that sodium. Mm-mm.
All right, but yeah, I do believe that Rael is absolutely right. It's not only based on his whiteness, but to thumb their noses at black men. Yeah, and is a goddamn shame, and you can call that out. I mean, it's ridiculous at this point because because like look at the Bronny James situation. That shit was just weird as fuck. you know,
You
and
know what? You know what, Kev? It was
but
weird when Amazing Lucas talked about it. Like, why are you
oh
police?
yeah,
Like, Lucas, sometimes I like you, sometimes I'll be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Well, we don't need to see successful black men in that image. I said, what you need to do is go ask black women why haven't they tried to fucking get Bronny James?
yeah. A black, and Roger has said this before. With a young black guy, the women that have had first access have always been black women. So what the hell let you? I mean, how do I put it? How did you let them get away when you've had first access, and then want to complain about the shit? Just shit, all the shit. The dick policing is fucking weird, and I try my best on this channel to nip that shit in the bud. For anybody who watches my edited stuff, but
Wait, hold on, Kev. I'm going to tell you what it is. I was in a pizza restaurant with an ex of mine years ago, Georgia Peach. it was a get together of some people. It looked like they were college friends, and they had not met up in a while, and some of them got married, some of them had children, whatever. So beautiful Indian woman comes in. After her husband comes in. It's a black guy. He's carrying the baby in the carrier. My ex says, that's weird. And I knew what she was talking about. I just wanted to hear her response. And I was like, well, what you mean what's weird? And then her response was, well, it don't matter anyway. Most black women wouldn't want him anyway. I said, oh, okay. So when we left, I said, let me ask you a question. I said, you made a comment in there talking about most black women wouldn't want that black dude. So I said, well, what is he supposed to do if most black women don't want him? Is he supposed to just sit there and be miserable by himself? And so she got quiet. So then I asked her another question. I said, we hear a lot about black men not being shit, niggas ain't shit, and all that type of stuff. I said, if niggas ain't shit, I said, why do y'all get so upset when we get with either a white chick or other non-black females? And her response was, well, it's like we really don't want y'all, but we don't want y'all to go nowhere else and be happy. That was her response.
Yeah, and
It was one of those moments where you know how somebody it's like they're really honest with you, but they don't really realize how fucked up they really let the cat out the bag. That was one of those moments.
Yeah.
Where she just gave the insight. Now, mind you, I ain't told the full story. This was a female who hated to see black men with non-black women, but used to be in a relationship with a white dude.
Get the entire totality of fucks out of here. Get the man. What the fuck? The fuck? You hypocrite bitch. You hypocrite bitch. Wait a minute.
Hold on. She got mad at me over white bitches I smashed before I even knew her. I bullshit you not.
What did you say about the white boy she was messing with?
Not a damn thing.
And she tried to bring sometimes people make. Have you ever looked at a bitch and go, bitch?
Yes, that's exactly how I looked at it when she said that bullshit. That's exactly how I looked at her. And I told her, I said, look, man. I said, I don't know where this hatred comes from that y'all have for black men. I was like, but man, y'all better let that shit go. I said, first of all, if me and you didn't work out and you moved on and met somebody else that was better for you, that you believed it was better for you and you decided to move forward and get married, I said, shit, you can send me an invitation to the wedding. I'll come and support you and wish you good luck. I said, because at the end of the day, shit, if we don't fit and we ain't compatible, shit, we just don't fit. I said, but I would never want you to not have somebody to go through this life with you. You know what I'm saying? As far as being with somebody, I'm like, what kind of shit is that? I'm like, for you to just want this dude to sit here and be single and by himself because most black females wouldn't. And you could kind of read him. And he was a regular dude. You could tell he was intelligent. I was kind of hearing their conversations. He, very intelligent dude. He seemed like he was a tech guy. And But he had a bad Indian woman though. He was a regular dude. He wasn't no Idris Elba, no motherfucker like that. He was a regular dude, had a bad Indian chick. And if you know anything about Indian women in America, now I met an Indian chick when I was in college who said Indian women love black men. But she was like their parents a lot of times were against them dealing with black men. And you want to know one of the main reasons why a lot of foreign people are against their daughters dealing with black men? It's the idea that black men are not even family oriented and marriage oriented.
Mm.
That's the reason. Even though studies have shown that black men are much more open to marriage than even
Well,
black females are.
well, you know, we get lied about constantly that
Right.
we leave our kids and we don't take care of our family. Like, and I always ask, who do this? Like, who's just abandoning their kids willy nilly? I'm from the ghetto, you know, and I got homeboys who strive every day to take care of their children by different women. They go work in factories and everything just to buy their kids a bike or some shoes or make sure their kid could go on a field trip. So that's why I always ask, like, where are these? I know that there's deadbeat dads. Don't get me wrong. It's deadbeat moms and deadbeat dads. But most brothers I know, young and old, is trying to take care of their children if they got them. I literally got a bro. I got a brother that he never graduated high school or nothing, but he been working at the same factory since we was like 19, 20, raising his kids. You know what I mean? He just work in the factory, take care of his kids, do his thing. You know, he drink a little bit, do his thing, but that's what he do. That's what his life is about, taking care of his children. And I wonder how we got this
Stigma.
yeah, like what like man, most of the brothers I know take care of their kids or at least attempt to.
The very women who abandoned the traditional family, who was out there burning their bras with the white women because it wasn't just white women doing it. Y'all got to remember, there were black women out there burning their bras on college campuses um, when Malcolm X was still alive.
Mm-hmm. Because these some brazen bitches, boy.
Right. But the very women who literally crumbled the family structure have had a media apparatus that have allowed them to get on TV for 40, 50 years and make it seem like it's the men who have been against family,
But I
which
mean,
is the furthest from the truth, because many black men have tried to help these women prepare broken ass families, playing stepfathers to the children. So it's common sense to say, okay, if the men are willing to play stepfather, then they're going to be more than likely willing to play father to their own kids. And I can pretty much guarantee that if you gave most black men the power to have custody over their children with no interference from these women, I believe most would take them. I believe most would take them. My dad took me, from my mom, and he never got a dime of child support, not one dime. That's why I don't even allow women to use that child support argument, because my dad never got a dime. Never got it done. And if he had my mom on child support and she couldn't pay, I wouldn't want her to go to jail. That, that shit would
What you
certainly
mean your dad expected your mom to help? He's a bitch ass nigga.
hurt. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So again, like that me and that chick being in that restaurant years ago, and that exchange we had, it really shifted a lot for me, because I was just like, okay, this shit is on a whole deeper level than what I really thought. Because but when we saw a lot of the, pushback against S.Y.G.N and a lot of men going overseas and stuff like that, I had already saw that shit. You know what I'm saying? Damn near, what was that? Damn near 15 years ago. I already saw that. Because I was like, you ain't interested in the motherfucker, but you mad he going somewhere and he happy. And that was the key more so than anything. Wasn't just the fact that he had got somebody from another group. You could see on his face how happy he was. You know, he had a child with this woman. They were married. You could see, Shorty had a big rock on her finger. And now, mind you, this chick was sitting there at the table with me, smart, intelligent, good looking dude. And she was still not satisfied. She was still not satisfied. Like, it's like, yo, like, what do y'all motherfuckers want? And a lot of times, man, what they want, man, is motherfuckers on their knees. Seeing you as a black man on your knees, groveling, begging, hoping and wishing. Even Tupac said that shit years ago. He said this shit ain't even real. He said these motherfuckers be out here talking about, oh, I can't live without you, Tupac. I love you. He said, yeah, but I was the same nigga, the same lonely ass nigga in the club last year before I became Tupac, looking for a dance from a motherfucker, and I couldn't even get a motherfucker to dance. He was like, now I got this motherfucking money. Now I'm Tupac now. Now you can't live without me. You know what I'm saying? And it's
And
just
that's
like,
why we need to correct these niggas too, right? Because men perpetuate a lot of this fucking nonsense going on. Like this whole thing where niggas say you should pay for everything. Hold the fuck up. Why would I want to be with somebody that don't want to contribute to the well-being of their family? What the nigga? Oh, you should pay for everything. You ain't paying for nothing, so the bitch ain't gonna submit. I'll be looking at these niggas like, man, you. And the truth is, I'm so tired of our prostitute culture, man. The truth is, American black people live in a prostitute culture. And these niggas, there's no other place in the world. You're not going to go to Africa and find a woman from Ghana that's telling you you should just pay for everything for the family.
no, they typically want to help you do it.
Yeah, because that's their like who doesn't want to but in America, our mothers are hoes. They fuck who they want, they fuck willy-nilly, and they live in a prostitute. We live in a prostitute culture. Because we forget America is a market. And we live in a market culture where everything is about exchange and this is not mutual. So it's all about what I can get and what I can't get. So you got these niggas who call themselves game coaches and this, oh, well, I'm a high value man and this and that. No, nigga, use a big trick. Why would you come and pay for every single thing? Well, that's the only way you can make sure you have submission. That's what you do with a hoe. Like, this is not a hoe. This is my wife. She's supposed to contribute to the family. She's supposed to help do this. When you see other coaches and you see the man doing stuff and the women is in the garden and making clothes and doing this to make things easier on the husband. No, these bitches want a maid and a nanny. Like, what the fuck? And niggas is like, yeah, you should be able to provide that. If not, you're not a man. Because, and I'll be laughing at these niggas. Like, look at these trick niggas about to get finessed in court again.
When I was a chick that I was in high school, she was a couple grades lower than me, but she ended up becoming a professor. And she taught. She was Brazilian, and she taught the Portuguese class in my college. And she talked about how when her dad was going to school for his PhD, how her mother was working like 80 hours a week. Like he wasn't working. And I mean, anybody knows about Brazilian culture is very, very patriarchal. And that was what was required for the family. And she did it, and obviously he ended up getting his PhD or whatever. And she didn't have to do that. But typically other groups of women, they're in the fight with you. Hispanic women typically are, when they work, they're going to hand the money off to the men. And so, but in this culture, like you have to be this soup. First of all, you have to do it in a way that you're not historically typically had to do. First of all, Indian women, other groups of women help their men. I mean, that's the whole point of, and I think that's why so many women aren't. That's one of the main reasons why so many women aren't married, because they don't know what it means to be a fucking help me. They don't. They literally don't get the fucking concept.
Just think
And
about where you from, Rael?
say that again.
Where you from? What state?
Pennsylvania.
Just think about when you go to the Arab stores. The man is manning the counter and the woman is running around stocking that motherfucker. It's their store. Every time I go into a Korean store or an Asian store and I hear these women talk this nonsense, I look like, man, every time you go in the store, it's a man and a wife in that store working that business.
Yep.
When you go to an Asian restaurant, the ladies is up front taking the order, the man back there cooking. Everybody helping each other. But we got this stupid, ignorant idea that, oh yeah, if you don't pay for everything, you don't deserve submission.
Hey, Rael, G, how badly do you think business will be for security after these two back-to-back mass shootings? Do you think there's going to be a uptake in security just by dumb numbers?
Yeah, most likely.
Do you know how many women all was like, oh, that's great. I can't wait till you do this. Da, da, da. You know what I said? If you really want to be a part of this, I'm going to put you to work. Write the proposals, do the networking, write up the fundraisers, get the loans and the grants. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know about you either. See, we let our women off the hook of so much shit, and they know it. What the fuck good are you to us? We're really afraid to say that. What good are you to us?
Charles, I said on Facebook back in 2014, I think it was. You women do not want black men to get to the point where they view you as obsolete, meaning that you don't have anything to offer them outside of sex. Like that's a very danger when you get men asking, and that time came to pass because it got to a point where black men started asking, well, what are you bringing to the table? Obviously, Kevin was a big part of that. Rest in peace to him. But that conversation eventually happened. I said it was going to happen. And that's a very dangerous place for you to be in. If I don't care what group of women you are, because if your men get to the point where they start questioning what they need you for, that means y'all motherfuckers is bad. You got to the point that niggas don't even want your presence around really like that outside of sexual excursions. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much where it is. This is why he was talking about it's a prostitute type culture, because that's really pretty much what it is. Like I grew up in the 90s era. You know what I'm saying? Well, I came of age in the 90s era. And it was not hard hollering at a chick, man. I mean, yeah, it was, some was on bullshit, but you could be a regular dude, cool, and get a pretty damn decent looking chick, man. You know, and all this stuff, man, that's coming to the fore, man, is just like some just completely off the wall shit, because you see females asking for the most and giving you the least. And I've said this before, like you can't get black men right now, and black men's standards is at the fucking lowest. What if black men's standards just fucking increased and started going back to some of the old school fucking standards?
Well, and you
What
know
are you
what's happening,
like? You
Rael?
really gonna be shit out of luck.
Yeah, that's what's actually happening.
Yes.
I'm seeing it in real time. These little dudes is looking at these women like, bitch, I don't need you. I got my own apartment. Like I don't need you to do. See what happened was you had a generation after you guys. You guys were the last generation. Like I was born in '89, and we didn't we suffered the war on drugs, mass incarceration. to where there wasn't a lot of men around us in the early 2000s when we were coming of age. Because we were becoming teenagers in '02 and '01, and there wasn't any men to teach us this stuff. So we were raised by women and taught, oh, that's a woman. And we were listening to, I'll buy your car, I'll pay your rent, I'll cook your dinner too. These niggas was talking about they about to cook for these hoes and to where the point where these women don't want to do like these bitches is real life lazy. That's all there is to it. They're real life
Mhm.
lazy, man.
Well,
They don't want to even clean their own house. I went in the girl house and it was dirty, and I asked, "Damn, what's wrong? Why your house dirty? Is you gonna clean it? Like, bitch, why would I clean your house? Like that's how stupid they sound."
well, they can't say that they weren't warned or they weren't at least advised because there are now spaces like this around. But fellas, I'm about to end this. Like, getting a little sleepy here. I think Sir Anthony and I already fell asleep. And by the way, thank you for the cash app, Sir Anthony. Whether you can hear me or not, but yeah, damn, they dropped off real quick. I wanted them to give a final statement, but thanks for coming by, fellas. um, damn, Rael did too. So, but I do appreciate the conversation as a whole. Yeah, you call it what you want. What up, Kareem? Good to see you. Uh, the conversation started out, it was sign language versus SBE. We had people saying that it was the same thing, but whatever you call it, these are genuinely black men trying to tell you stuff. They're trying to tell you everything, and don't be shocked and surprised when things turn out a certain way. And like I was saying, don't say we didn't warn you. But yeah, thank you for all of your support. At the end of the day, well, at the end of this broadcast, special shout outs to Greg, Shaka Nulu, uh, Shannon B, who else? Sir Anthony. Uh, thank you for all your Cash App, Super Chat support. This is a really good conversation. And let's go over it again before we leave. Before we sign off. Sign language is basically an acronym for shaming, insults, guilting, and need to be right. And S.B.E is shame, blame, and explain. There were a bunch of different opinions in the chat tonight as to which one is more potent and which one is a bigger problem. And as far as my answer to that, I'll leave that up to you because I'm pretty indifferent on it. I do believe if you do come to say anything in these spaces, is up for debate. And, although my opinion doesn't reflect the opinions of everyone, I believe also that anything I say is up for debate as well. So, you know, like I said, once again, thank you guys for participating. The chat was definitely lit as always. And I will see y'all on the next go round. I don't know about a show for tomorrow night as of yet. If I do, it'll be completely spontaneous and it will be a topic that hopefully you guys can enjoy. So, all right, that's it for now. Long live the habitual line steppers. In Kev we trust. Oh yeah, be sure to sub my backup channel as well. Um, and I'm gonna win, and when that happens, we all do win. Uh, Peace out till the next time.